That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
All right, Joel Nelson for Fan Headlines. Steelers improved to 5-3 on the year with a 27-20 victory over the Indianapolis Colts this afternoon. Just the Colts' second loss this season. Steelers force 6 turnovers. More headlines, 937thefan.com. Postgame with Paul Alexander begins next on The Fan, on the free Odyssey app, and on the Fan YouTube stream.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. The Fan Reaction starts now. Call 412-928-9370. Your time to be heard. The Fan Reaction starts now. Your chance to talk about today's game. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Man, what a difference a week makes. Or should I say 2 weeks? Something happened when T.J. Watt, for the first time in a long while, made a very significant play with the strip sack. And the defense never looked back from that point forward. And I think this has become the biggest example of who teams are on a week-to-week basis. I don't want to take one single thing away from this victory. I'm not going to take one single thing away from the defense that we saw, the unbelievably opportunistic defense against coming in what appeared to be the most complete offense in the entire National Football League. Granted, it's Danny Dimes, but he had been fantastic. They had what I thought was an MVP candidate at running back, which, you don't win the MVP anymore as a running back, but they certainly had that in Taylor. And they had so many weapons offensively. Tyler Warren, I think, was cruising right toward that AFC or even the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year, maybe the Offensive Player of the Year. And for some unforetold reason, what happened was this Steeler defense showed up and just started turning everybody over. Jones had 3 picks. They had 3 additional, including the fumble on the kick. Danny Smith, outstanding with the knowledge of the rules after the personal foul penalty, kicking it out of bounds, only gets out to the 25. That was coaching right there. And I'm wondering what the effect was of having the 20-year anniversary of the Super Bowl 40 guys hanging around for a couple of days, being at the stadium today. I don't know how you are with your career, your vocation, whatever it is that you do. If there was certain greatness in your office, in your company, and they had done something monumental, I don't know what the equivalent of winning a Super Bowl would be, but if guys that had done it in such a profound manner like that group did, the first ever, number 6 seed to go all the way and win a Super Bowl, and they handled it, and they had probably their most unbelievable win of that stretch against the Colts. And we all remember the Bettis fumble and the Big Ben tackle and all that came with that, and that amazing run to the Super Bowl They survived a real subpar performance. I mean, if you take a look at Ben's 2 Super Bowl wins, they were night and day. I mean, what happened in Detroit compared to what happened in Tampa, they were night and day. But the point I'm trying to make is when you're kind of associated with the inability to win the big one, the inability to win a playoff game, the inability to actually win something that matters, that's kind of your legacy. That's kind of your, the weight tied around your neck every time that they're trying to assess the career of T.J. Watt or Cam or any of these guys that have actually never won anything of significance, and this playoff drought has been haunting. And it haunts everybody associated with the program now. And that's rough. But you get around guys that have, they've been to the top of the mountain. They got the rings on, and they're wearing them today. Some have multiple. And they're wearing them today. And they're honored at halftime, and they're there. It was like even going back to the Raiders game back in the, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett put together a great game to celebrate the anniversary of the Immaculate Reception because all of the greatness was in the house. Everybody was all about that. And I'm just wondering, the presence of Ben and Bussy and Hamp and Keese and, on and on, James Ferrier. You just go on a Dick LeBeau's in the house. I mean, all these great, honored, traditional, what it's like to be remembered as a champion, there's no substitute for that. There's nothing in the world quite like that. And I think maybe these guys found something that was missing. And I don't know what ignited it. I don't know how it was sustained. It got a little sloppy, but you know what? The game was never in jeopardy. It was not. I know it's a one-score game now, and it looks a lot closer than it was, but this Steeler defense forced 6 turnovers. Well, 5 by the defense and 1 by special teams. And they played. They played hard, with the exception of that first drive. I don't know why. I don't know why the Steelers go 3 and out more often than they should on their opening offensive possession, and why their defense gets absolutely just embarrassed in their first drive, against the opposition. And that certainly happened, and it was one of those, this could get really ugly, because so many of us saw this game going pretty much like that, first possession for both teams went. Colts go right down the field, put up a tutty. Steelers go 3 and out. But, man, that's why they play the whole 60, and that's why you do not assume anything. You do not assume that everybody's going to play like they're supposed to play. Everybody's going to play like they've been playing. And this has become such an unbelievably week-to-week league that I don't know how you predict what's going to happen. Now, our man Pony, he's pounding his chest. He's he's very famous for being a contrarian. He saw that everybody was picking Indy in a blowout, Indy in a blowout, Indy in a blowout. Well, of course he's going to pick the Steelers. And this is the one time he gets to pound his chest and be, see, why wouldn't anyone believe me? I knew this was going to happen. Yeah. You just got your nipples pierced because you knew the Steelers were going to beat Cincinnati, okay? Easy on the why won't anyone trust me or believe me. Come on. Give me a break. Anyway, why don't we go ahead and open up the phone lines right now, and let's check out Darren in Virginia. Hello, Darren. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going up there, Nick?
It's going great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just seen my boys win a smoker. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I've been a new listener to all of your radio stations up there, and every show I listen to, you guys were lambasting this team.
Well, let's not, hey, Darren, I'm just going to stop you there because you know what? What happened the last 2 weeks, every bit of the lambasting was earned and well-deserved. They were awful. This doesn't change that. They were awful on defense the last 2 weeks, right?
But you look at you guys were making this coach team seem like they were the Johnny U coach, and they're not. Look at the team. Go back and look at.
Did you see that? Did you see their numbers coming in, Darren?
Yeah. Did you see who they played?
Yeah, they had a really soft schedule, but so have the Steelers. You saw the Steelers get blown out by Cincinnati. What happened to them today? The Bears beat the crap out of them.
They beat Cincinnati. They beat Tennessee twice. They beat Arizona. I mean, where are the wins? Where are their signature wins?
Well, I mean, that's who they were scheduled to play, and that's who they beat. I'm not going to take anything away from that. You can only play who you're scheduled to play. Today was a great win. Celebrated and absolutely enjoy it. It doesn't erase what we saw the last 2 weeks. It doesn't change that. But you know what it does? These guys defensively better keep playing like this because the stars had not been showing up the last 2 weeks. They showed up today. They showed up today. Let's go.
They simplified that defense a whole lot, and that was something that they needed to do.
I agree. But T.J. Watt with that strip sack, that ignited that changed the whole game. Sometimes it's a play. T.J. Watt was on a milk carton for the last 3 weeks. Now here he is front and center, changing a game completely. That's what you get paid $41 million a year to do.
You have the players there. It's just like cooking a good stew. But if you don't mix those ingredients just right, you're gonna come out with some crap.
Well, yeah, and you have to cook it just right, and you better make sure that every ingredient is actually a quality ingredient. And I agree, but I'm not going to go in some sort of, well, you guys shouldn't have said that they were terrible against Cincinnati or terrible against Green Bay. They stunk against both of them. They were awful.
Yeah.
Today doesn't change that. That doesn't reverse that. But I'll tell you what, if they have another stinker going forward, shame on them because they showed us today what they're capable of.
No, we're going to stay positive, guy. We're not going to have any more stinkers.
Well, okay.
I got any more stinkers.
And you know what? Don't go to sleep on the Colts either. This isn't who they were today either. They're going to be fine. They're going to be a tough out down the road.
That might have been who Daniel Jones is.
Well, I don't know.
That might have been who he is.
You know, he looked pretty good on that first drive, didn't he?
That's the Daniel Jones I was accustomed to.
The first drive?
Yeah, but as soon as he got on his spots, he was awful.
He didn't have a great day, but you know what I finally want to do? I want to give the Steelers defense credit for that.
Then they did, again, like I said.
I want to give the Steelers defense credit for making Daniel Jones look like he looked today.
And
that's fun to do because you know what, Darren? We haven't been able to do that.
We hadn't been.
That's a whole lot of fun to do because you know what? We've all seen T.J. Watt at his best. And he's unbelievably tough. And, you know, it's been frustrating when you know what guys have potentially, what guys are capable of, and when they don't do it, you just start going, what the hell's going on?
Exactly, sir. I think that they're just they are a way better defense than what they've played like the last couple of weeks.
Let's hope. And they have a chance to show it. That schedule, speaking of schedules, look at the Steelers going forward. It gets a whole lot tougher.
We'll be okay. We got the pieces.
Darren, I love your optimism. I really do, and I never try to dissuade anyone from being optimistic. I want it to stay that way.
Steelers forever, baby.
All right, Darren.
All right, you have a good one.
Enjoy it down there in horse country. Let's go to Johnny in Farrell. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Paulie. I saw in defense. When you're an athlete, when you have a liability, there's a gear you have to go into that is like an extra gear, and that's hustle. And the liability is age. And these guys, they're not playing hard in other games. There's just an extra gear there that elite athletes know they have. And it's like that extra percentage. And that's what you saw today. And if they can sustain that, almost like a boxer that has to sustain a fight and knows it's going to be at least an 8, 9, 10 rounder. And that's what our team is. And that's what we're built for. And to counter some of those liabilities on offense, it's simple, man. Our points per player won the highest in the league, dude, which means if we run more plays, right, we're going to score more points. So we have to go to some sort of controlled no huddle. and just like the Bills did, and their defense was sneaky brutal, and they had the running game with Thurman, and then they had just some receivers, some that were great, obviously in the Hall of Fame, but DK, and some up and comers. So it's going to be on defense, that extra gear that they have that's going to hurt to use, but if they want it, they'll do it.
And Johnny, I think it's more than that. I think it's, one, the presence of Super Bowl champions being honored. I think these guys are embarrassed that they haven't done anything. They're getting paid. They keep asking for more money. They keep getting it, and they've done nothing. And I think they love their head coach, and their head coach is getting killed because they stink. And I think finally some pride. These guys have been told how badly they suck for the last 2 weeks, and they have sucked for the last 2 weeks defensively. And hopefully these guys are like, you know what, I'm done sucking. I'm better than that. I'm better than this. We're all better than this. And hopefully Cam and TJ and some other guys stood up and said, listen, Patrick Queen, to his credit, he said, we're fixing it this week. He came out and said that. I'm thinking, I don't know where that's coming from, but you know what? Let's go. Because we know they're better than they've been playing.
One last thing, Paulie.
Sure.
I swear, Daniel Jones looks like he'd play an excellent Norman Bates.
Yeah, I think he'd be capable about that. I think
his eyes.
Put him in a rocking chair and you got it. I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, brother. Big
All right,
win.
Johnny, thanks, man. That was a nice win. And none of the stuff that happened at the end, the Wilson fumble, and none of that even bothered me in the least. None of it was – the game was not in jeopardy. So, yeah, a little sloppy finish to it, but you know what? So what? The game was already won at that point. Let's go to Greg in Youngstown. Hey, Greg.
Hey, what's going on?
How
Roman
you doing?
Wilson. What was he thinking? What was Roman Wilson thinking? Come on.
Well, he has so little game experience and so little NFL experience. He wasn't thinking.
He wasn't thinking.
He wasn't thinking, and that's the problem. And that's where maybe, before the play, your veteran quarterback, 4-time MVP goes, hey, get on the ground, nothing fancy, nothing special, just get down on the ground. But let's not go too crazy about that. It didn't do anything. It didn't cost him anything. Let it go.
You know what?
He won't do it again. The beauty of it is sometimes lessons are great. You know why? Not going to happen again.
We hope. You know what? They got to get a third receiver. They got a second receiver. They got to trade.
Well, you know what? Also, it was got to trade Freiermuth. You're paying him $11 million. Blah, blah, blah. That was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Now he's getting touchdowns in almost every game, and he's an integral part. And now you see when you get a little speed back with 19, that changes things. So I think the combination of Muth and Austin, I think they have their third receiver, at least a compliment. And now using the big guy, using Mount Washington out there, yeah. I don't really think – I'm not seeing that there's a big, dearth or a big void of ability. I hate to use it. I think there's enough eligibles on this squad right now.
I don't think they can go vertical, though. That's the problem. I mean, they can go
what you can't with Metcalf, because Metcalf doesn't have hands like he should, man.
No, I mean, they're going to go after another receiver. No, they're playing.
They have until Tuesday. We have the deadline on Tuesday, and maybe that would have. It certainly wouldn't bother me. I'm not against it at all. A later round draft pick for a real solid wide receiver. No, that would certainly help. But I think right now, the way they spread the ball around, at one point, I think still in the first half, there were 8 players with receptions.
Yeah. I still don't think they got enough vertical game. But here's the thing. On the Chargers next week, Alt got hurt his knee. Their offensive line's banged up. Now, this is a team we could rush the quarterback, but you got to contain that quarterback, though. Daniel Jones made a mistake today. Here's his mistake. We don't do good against running quarterbacks. And this guy didn't want to run with the ball today at all.
And he can be effective, and he was not today. Not at all. But I'm not sure he had anywhere to run to.
No, but I think the guy in San Diego is going to run. So, because that offensive line is beaten up. So we have to contain that guy in the pocket. We can't let this guy run 20 yards down the field and 30 yards down the field. So I think that's what's going to happen next week if we don't do that. Because that guy.
Well, if they get pressure like they did today, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we were going to win today. Colts never win in Pittsburgh. They're a dome team. They've never won in Pittsburgh. And the trouble is, we do get.
They were coming in kind of fat and happy, don't you think? Sitting at Yeah,
I had a feeling they were going to lose.
This didn't even hurt them at all. This was inconsequential to them.
Exactly. But I think next week we have to score more. We have to get touchdowns. We can't go for field goals.
Don't look at the Steelers' record on the West Coast. If you want to be optimistic, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, but we do well against the Chargers. We do well against them. But we have to contain that quarterback, and I think
there was a certain playoff game here that didn't go so well.
Well, it was a bad goofy game. But you know what? I have a feeling like this year's schedule is really tough. Just play one game at a time.
Exactly. That's all you can do.
I'm not looking down to the last game of the season. Like all these people want to say, well, look at their schedule and look at our schedule. Just play one game at a time.
Especially because
ugly if you have to, just win.
And you don't know who someone's going to be week to week. I mean, I thought the Colts coming in were flying so high, such rhythm offensively that they were going to really that first drive. I was like, here they go. This. We're going to see this all day. And then that strip sack by T.J. Watt changed the game. Completely turned the game around.
So the Bengals lost?
Oh, yeah, the Bears killed them.
They got that. See the last play they made, that touchdown?
I did not.
Yeah. You want to talk about the Bengals get an onside kick. They score. The Bears get the ball. They throw the ball down the middle of the field. The Bengals can't tackle. The guy scores a touchdown for the Bears. They win the game. So if we can't beat the Bungles in Pittsburgh, there's going to be a problem. That's my only thing.
All right. You never know. Greg, thanks for the call. All right. Hey, Chris, Liam, and Gavin in the car. Hang in there because I got to get to a break, and we'll be back with your phone calls. It is the Fan Reaction right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
Sunday Night Football this evening on 93.7 The Fan via Westwood One is the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders being played in Landover. Kickoff is set for 8:20, and coverage begins at 7:30. 93.7 The Fan, your home for the NFL on Westwood One. Fan Headlines are powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan gets your day started with the latest in Pittsburgh sports with the Fan Morning Show with Doran Dickerson and Adam Crowley. Weekdays 5:40 to 10. Presented by Guardian Protection on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Hey Pittsburgh, it's Chris Muller here with some big news. Verizon, America's best 5G network, wants you to bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill, and they'll give you a better deal. If you think Verizon is expensive, well, think again. Not only does Verizon let you lock in your low price for 3 years, everyone in the family can mix and match their plans with My Plan. And they let everyone get the same great phone deals when they trade in an eligible phone in any condition on My Plan. That means new and existing customers. That's more reasons to save, more reasons to switch. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Pittsburgh Verizon store, and they'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score Report dated first half 2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. 3-year price lock applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms apply to promotional offers. See Verizon.com/switch to Verizon.
Having experienced, qualified judges on the bench is crucial for our democracy. On Election Day, the Allegheny County Bar Association encourages you to vote yes to retain these qualified judges from the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas. Judge Alan Hertzberg, Judge Beth Lazara, Judge Jennifer Staley McCready, Judge Hugh McGough, Judge Dan Reagan, Judge Dwayne Woodruff. The attorneys who practice in front of these judges recommend them because of their honesty, integrity, and temperament. For more information, visit www.judicialvote2025.org. Paid for by the ACBA Judicial Excellence Committee.
NBA tipping off, and FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge is your home for live betting. So even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Man, I was watching the Lakers and their opener, and without LeBron, it's Luka, and more Luka. They're the Los Angeles Lukas. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel has given new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Starkey to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/Starkey. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two, get two free offer.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Homeowners, if your home needs a new roof, call a Platinum Preferred Roofing Contractor. Owens Corning only selects the best 1% of all its dealers, and JP Roofing and Signing has earned that honor. They've accomplished this through hard work and customer satisfaction and offer the best warranty in the business. Homeowners receive $500 off any roof or siding installation. Ask about 100% financing, no payments for 18 months, and free estimates. All that, JP Roofing and Siding. Give them a call at 412-829-7711. That's 829-7711.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com. Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Welcome back. Paul Alexander with you up until Westwood 1. We'll take you right up to Sunday Night Football. Bills have jumped out 7-0 over the Chiefs. How about Flacco today? 470 yards and 4 tutties and a loss to the Bears. Let's go to Chris in McKeesport. Chris, thanks for your patience. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on, man? I just want to talk and, let me talk, and then you can talk when I hang up. I want to say one thing. You personally, and the whole 93.7 are freaking hypocrites, and they're just hypocrites. All week long, y'all try to push a narrative. Oh, if the game's out of line, should the fans chant fire Mike Tomlin? Nobody was thinking about firing Mike Tomlin, but y'all pushed that narrative all week long. Y'all wanted the fans to do that. Today, what did Mike Tomlin do? Give it right back to you guys. You know what I mean? So y'all wanna say, oh, fire Mike Tomlin. Say if the game did went bad. The first play out the game, is it Mike Tomlin's fault that the tight end missed the pass? Is it Mike Tomlin's fault that Joey Porter keep getting pass interferences? Is it Mike Tomlin's fault that Roman Wilson jumping over where we could just slid down and get a fumble? You are a hypocrite. Your whole staff is a hypocrite, and y'all ain't nothing but some goddamn cowards. Real shit.
Well, I knew he couldn't keep it together there, but he got to say his piece. Let my man remember this was a game, one game. Now, I don't want to go, I'm not going to go today. Today, I'm going to allow what happened to kind of, just kind of have its day. Let the defense have its day today. Let Mike Tomlin have his day today. But there's nothing hypocritical about saying that over the last 9 or 10 years, buddy, not 9 or 10 games, not a couple of games, not today's game, 9 or 10 years is what my whole deal. Now, I'm not on the fan during the week, so I didn't say anything. I'm not a big chant guy. I could not care less about what the fans chant. I mean, they pay their fans. They get to do whatever they want. But the last chanting that was unbelievable was the Matt Canada thing. And, oh, by the way, who hired him? Who allowed him to be the coordinator for how long? First of all, don't call our radio station and get all blue and start swearing so we have to go into delay. You had one day today to be right. We've had 9 years of mediocrity. All right? There's nothing hypocritical going on here. You haven't had a playoff game in 9 years? You haven't won a playoff game in 9 years? It's the highest paid defense in the NFL, and for the last 2 weeks, they've been giving up 30-plus points a game this year. Today was a great day. Now, you had to go and ruin it by making me go backward and remind you why people are fed up with what's going on here. If this is sustainable, if this continues throughout the rest of the year, I think everybody on this station will come clean and say, damn, they found something. Damn, they were right. Damn, they had everything they needed. They had a lot more than we thought because they absolutely sucked against Cincinnati. They sucked against Green Bay. It's the highest paid defense in the NFL by $20 million. And they couldn't stop a nosebleed. So I hope you had fun in your little rant. I hope you feel better about yourself. I hope you think you're vindicated by one game. I hope that's changed everything in your life. I don't know what gets you so unbelievably. You can't handle criticism of a head coach in the NFL. Guess what? When coaches don't win at any level, they're going to get a whole lot of trouble from the media and from the fans. And they know that. They understand it a lot better than you do, obviously. But if you think that today vindicates everything, erases everything, you don't have a clue, buddy. You're lost. I did not want to say anything negative today at all because today was a very positive day, a very fun day. And they got a nice win. Maybe it's a turning point. I would love that. See, this is where people really, and there are some people, and you know them, some people want to see people fail so they can be right. That's not me. And if you hear me at all, listen to me at all, you should know I'm just honest. I just give my opinion based on what I see, based on a fair amount of expertise in 40-plus years of doing this. Picking brains like Dick LeBeau and on and on and on. I've sat down with some of the greatest people in the world, and I know that I don't know, but I know they do. So I talk and I interview and I listen. And I've done that my whole career. And the things that I've seen have not really given me much of an indication that this was going to be a Super Bowl contending year or a Mike Tomlin Coach of the Year year. I didn't see any of that. Still haven't really, but today was a nice day. And I don't want to see the Steelers fail so I can be right. That's not me. I'm not wound up that way at all. And I say it all the time. I want them to prove me wrong. I want them to win every game. Born and raised here, lifelong Steeler fan. I just have a job to do as a journalist, as a talk show host, to be real and be honest and say it the way I see it. I don't have an agenda. I don't want anyone to lose their job because of something I said. I want someone to be accountable for not winning a damn playoff game in 9 years. But people get all their panties in a bunch. Well, it's not his fault. He didn't make the. No, it is his fault because he's the head coach. Don't you understand what comes with the position? He hired all the coaches, drafted all the players, signed all the free agents, made all the decisions. He knows that's his job. And you know what? Today he did it extremely well. I'm willing to celebrate that, but not with clowns like you. Let's go to Jim in Monroeville. Hey, Jim.
Thank you for taking my call this evening. Great win, and I say that because, look, a week ago, after that disappointing loss, I was one of the people that say, hey, look, what's going on? You know, I'm not.
I think everybody was saying that.
Right, yeah, you know, and it was.
It's a normal reaction. It's what fans do. It's what media does. It's what our job is to do. What's going on?
Right, and it's always good to hear the voice of reason, you know. So, I mean, I was shocked. I didn't expect a win today. I didn't expect, you know, the worst defense in the NFL to beat the best offense in the NFL. I mean, this is why I love the game of football. This is why I'm an NFL fan.
It's the only true reality show. It's not scripted. You don't know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
Even a guy like Andrew Filipponi can be right now and again.
Right. Great call on that one.
Yeah, how about that? Give him credit. I mean, he got his nipples, pierced last time. He thought he was right.
Yeah, and I think he should stay away from these wild and
he loves that stuff, man. I don't. Maybe he didn't get much attention as a kid at home. I don't know, man. He loves that kind of stuff. He throws it out there, and I'll tell you what, he raised $12,000 to help fight breast cancer. So I think Andrew did a hell of a thing.
Kudos to him. Yeah, and he's a diehard fan. But,
he is, and he's great at what he does. Let's not have any problem with that either.
Totally. Really good win today. AFC game. We got another game coming up against the Chargers, but there's a good bit of AFC teams ahead, and I hope this defense can just keep this going.
Keep playing.
Because it looks like we can and possibly win the North. I know Lamar Jackson's back, but I just wanted to say great win. This is what I wanted to see from the defense last week and maybe even the week prior. But yeah, 5-3. Let's go Steelers.
All right, Jim. Thanks for the call. One thing's a little, you're not going to get you're not going to force 6 turnovers a game. Can you play solid enough defense without turning someone over and still win? That's yet to be seen. Let's go to Chris in Hopewell. Hey, Chris.
Hey, it was just great to see the Steelers back to their old selves. I felt like they played with some passion today, and I was just really pleased to see that. At the same time, though, I agree with you 100%. I think the fact that they could win the rest of their games is all going to come down to the postseason. You got to win a playoff game for me to be sold on Tomlin. But hey, it's a good day today, and I'll
celebrate. Let's enjoy the heck out of it. That's what I wanted to do until we had that clown thinking he was he was completely validated and vindicated. And how dare you? How dare I? Where you been for 9 years, clown? All right, Fantex Line brought to you by the Edgar Snyder and Associates and Personal Injury Law Firm, where they always say, never a fee unless we get money for you. Fan Twitter brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. How about fan weather? What a beautiful day out there today. Fan weather, by the way, brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions today. Now, I know it's getting dark awfully early. Let's remember why that's all going on. But sunny skies, we had those. The sun's going away very soon. Highs in the 50s on Monday, too, so that'll be a decent day as well. And, again, that's the Myers Law Group bringing you your fan weather. Hey, open phone lines. We're going to be here until 7:30. We'll take you up to Westwood 1 and the Sunday night game. It's tied at 7 between the Chiefs and the Bills. We got some wide open topics. Are the Steelers legit? They sit at 5-3. They certainly control the AFC North. Are the Ravens still going to win the AFC North? I'd love to get your take on that. 412-928-9370. It's Paul Alexander on Fan Reaction on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs PPO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Your hometown building partner since 1956, 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
At Bucko's Roofing, we're on top of it. Whether it's siding, roofing, windows, gutters, or insurance claims, you can count on Bucko's for quality customer service. Find us online and get a free quote today.
It's Pittsburgh's #1 roofing company.
Bucko's Roofing.
This holiday, give the gift of peace of mind with a AAA membership. Enjoy exclusive savings on shopping, dining, theme parks, and even travel planning, plus 24/7 roadside assistance. Right now, gift a membership for just $35 and get a free household member. We'll even thank you with a $20 Visa gift card. Visit AAA.com/gift. AAA, we're always with you.
This football season, huddle up at Rival Sports Bar, Fox Chapel Waterworks, and Collier Town Square. Fresh pizza, cheesesteaks, ice-cold beer, and 30-plus big screens showing every game every Saturday and Sunday. Rival, your sports home.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey sports station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
All right, Joel Nelson for Fan Headlines. Steelers back in the win column, a 27-20 victory over Indianapolis this afternoon. Steelers are at Los Angeles next Sunday night. Tonight's Sunday night game can be heard on 93.7 The Fan, your home for the NFL, on Westwood One as the Seahawks take on the Commanders at 8:20. Coverage begins at 7:30. Catch it all on the free Odyssey app. More headlines, 937thefan.com. Right now, it's more fan reaction.
Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Welcome back. It is indeed a victory Sunday for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Very enjoyable game to watch. I thought the defense showed up. They turned over the high-flying Colts 6 times. And they looked motivated. They looked passionate. They looked. I didn't see guys running wide open after that first drive. It really was a pleasure to see those guys play a little defense. It was a pleasure to see T.J. Watt get himself, recognized, get himself a strip sack and a fumble. I mean, he got the trifecta all on one play, and it totally turned the game around. It really did. Oftentimes, as many plays as there are in a game, it can be one that turns everything around. And here's Al from Etna. Hello, Al.
Yes, sir.
What do you got, Al?
I'm just wondering why, like, most times, like, we got to let things go through and let the defense and things happen, and games happen, and momentums happen, and swings happen. But, you know, as soon as the Steelers start happening, the media and during the game is automatically already saying how bad our defense is. It's the first quarter, and they're already saying we can't do nothing, and like pointing out all these stats.
Well, Al, that's the whole world now. Everybody overreacts immediately to everything.
I understand, but look what ended up happening. Like the overreaction.
But Al, let's not. All right, we have recent bias. You know what that is when you have recent bias?
I understand what you're saying. I'm with you.
Okay,
Al, every day.
Al, what happened the last 2 weeks?
They fell and they look terrible. You're right.
Okay. Now, and now
it's the first quarter and the first drive, and
you know what? If you saw something happen over and over again, and then the very beginning of the game looks, oh no, I mean, did not feel like here we go again?
Oh, and you're right, 100%.
Okay,
and I felt that.
And here's the beauty of it: they proved everybody wrong. I think that was a big part of their motivation was they were tired of one, sucking, which they have been, and two, hearing about it.
Right.
So they finally were fed up, and they showed up and played. That doesn't erase what happened the last 2 weeks. It doesn't make the fans the bad guys. It doesn't make the media the bad guys. All they showed us today was how good they can be.
I'm just particularly.
This is how good they can be. And you know what?
You're right.
You better show us that going forward, or today's going to be like, oh, yeah, you remember that Colts game? Yeah, that was a great one. Shame they lost 4 in a row after that. Or whatever they do from here, it's going to determine what we learned today. Period. But no one has to apologize. No one has to be apologized for being mad about you don't have to apologize.
It was the NBC TV that was taking it and making it their own narrative. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but you know what? It's not.
When we didn't do nothing, then the NBC started, CBS started making it their own. This is Steelers never do nothing, and then they did everything.
Because you know why, Al? These guys, Al, you got to slow down a little bit, Al. Let me explain something to you.
Yes, sir.
First of all, that's J.J. Watt. That's TJ's brother. You don't think he's like rooting like hell for his brother?
And he didn't say nothing for him.
Well, no. You know why? He's a professional. And you know what those guys are?
But
Al, you got to let me talk here. It's not going to work out very well.
I'm sorry, buddy.
You've spoken your piece. All right. After a touchdown drive, and here come the Colts. They're on the board. The Steelers go 3 and out and punt. You know what? After watching the last 2 games and studying to prepare for this game, there was no reason for them not to believe, here we go again. And the Steelers, I'm sure, felt, here we go again. Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's like, here we go again. And because they've stunk on defense the last 2 weeks in a row. So, Al, why would anyone in their right mind actually think, you know what, they're going to come out and be awesome the rest of the game? Who would have thought that?
Well, I got to go with my old-time beliefs. I'm from 42nd Street, Lawrenceville, and I'm old-time Pittsburgh. It's in my soul, and I just hope for it. And I know all the statistics mean something, but sometimes you just feel it and you hope for the best.
So, that means they're going to win playoff games and Super Bowls this year? I mean, there has to be. See, to me, hold on. There has to be an educated background to why. I mean, if you just want to be a fan and the Steelers are the best and they're going to go 17-0 every year and win the Super Bowl every year, I love those kind of fans. If you're one of them, that's great, but I can't have conversations with people like that.
I'm realistic too, but
you don't. Well, I don't know. I mean, when you saw, so you thought they were being idiots after the Colts went right down the field and scored a very easy touchdown, and the Steelers go, 3 and out and punt.
And
you were right there. Hold on.
They were being idiots.
Were you feeling really good about the Steelers?
Drops the ball.
Were you feeling really good about the Steelers right there? Was that? Hey, yeah, here we go. We're going to kill the Colts today.
No, I did not think they were going to kill the Colts at all. I just thought they were going to be more in the game because I don't believe in the Colts. I believe more in our sad defense that we would actually be able to make something of this game.
Okay. You
and I
were
also
you were
believe
very
that,
much
like,
in the
when
minority.
our tight end dropped the ball from the very beginning, that was such a bad omen for the game. I was like, this can't be the same. And they rose to the occasion. The defense did.
They did.
They did what I hoped they would do.
Yes, they did. But you know what, Al? That was not predictable from the start of the game.
Absolutely,
it was not.
But if you're a diehard, you're a diehard.
Well, if you're a diehard and that takes away your ability to reason and make educated decisions, then that's why I can't. For the love of God, Al, when I'm talking, could you shut up?
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can, and you just did. Yeah, you can, and you just did. Al seems like a really nice guy. I'm not even really mad at Al, but I was trying to make the point. If no matter what happens or what happened prior doesn't form your opinion or, take you in a direction that you think something's going to happen, then what's the point of us having a conversation? Because you just believe what you're going to believe no matter what. And I get it. That's the way our world is today. There's no real dialogue. There's no real, convince me of something. Let's have a debate and you can change my mind. I love that. I love when people point out things. And I go, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. Thanks. That's a great point. I love those conversations. They used to be a lot more common. But now, common sense in general, it's not common at all. But Al, yeah, I could get you to stop talking. And it really wasn't that hard. Let's go to Ozzy in Mount Lebanon. Hello, Ozzy.
Hi. I think I need to apologize for Al. That was a little disappointing on his part.
Well, Al's fine. He's fine. I think Al's good with being Al. He's just a little bit of a knucklehead.
Yeah. Okay. I see
That's
that.
fine. I love Al.
So I'm 14 years old, and I haven't seen like a good Steelers team and a really convincing win for a while until today, and that was good to see. I was at the game. It was fun to watch them play. I thought that we looked really, really good.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was a great game to watch. Little concerned that when you go, depending on, it's almost like thinking, you won a game because you hit like 60% of your three-pointers. And, you start believing, well, we can do that each and every week. No, you can't. You're not going to turn over the Chargers 6 times next week. So you better be able to win. And here's something that really concerns me. Looking what Justin Herbert did today. He threw for a couple of touchdowns and 250 yards. He ran for almost 60 yards and another rushing touchdown. Two things that have bothered the Steelers defensively since I can remember, since I was your age, actually, Ozzy. They can't cover tight ends, and when they have everybody covered and then the quarterback will just tuck it and go for 10 or 15 yards, it kills them. And that's exactly what he does. He's 6'6", 235 pounds, and he can move. He's Josh Allen. He's big, young Big Ben. And he can really throw it. So he is a dangerous quarterback. And if you think you're going to turn him over and win the game that way, you're not. You can't count on that. And the thing I'm concerned about is, can they actually play good, solid defense against a good, solid offense? And we'll find out Sunday night.
They can't. That's why they have Peyton Wilson on the team. That's why he's out there and he's making all those plays and he's knocking down balls because
he was a key
to make plays.
I mean, they threw the one. His pick was basically thrown right to him. That was kind of on Danny Dimes. But the one he tipped and, they got the pick out of, that was a hell of a play. And you're right. He's out there because he does run around and make plays. My point is, if you're going to play a 4-quarter game and it's a close game, you better still be able to stop the run, which I thought they did a great job of today. But then all of a sudden, the Colts are behind. They go away from the running game. So that's one way to do it. Put up points and make them, go away from the run. And two, you got to get Joey Porter, he's like a pass interference call waiting to happen on every single pass. And that's going to kill them down there.
When they have those issues on defense, that's when like that offense and the special teams are stepping up. I mean, Hoosier Williams on the punt return, 85, Hoosier Williams, he was stepping up and he was making plays, and he makes the first guy miss, and then he sets up opportunities for the offense, and then Rodgers finishes the job. I mean, we look good on offense, some struggles, but we look good, and I think
the numbers
won games with the offense.
The numbers are a little scary. I mean, they really didn't do much offensively. At one point, the Colts had 10 first downs, the Steelers had 0. So
but you win games with the offense before today.
They did, but then, that's what I mean. The one thing they couldn't do, they put up 25 and 31 and lost. And they can't do that. The defense cannot allow that to happen. And that's what I want to see next
guys
week.
Like Hoosier Williams step up.
Today was a great day. Is it sustainable?
Yeah, but I see a bright future going forward. I see a Super Bowl down the road. I see a Super Bowl parade that I'll be going to.
Ozzie, who's going to be your Super Bowl quarterback?
Aaron Rodgers this season.
Okay. I love your optimism, Ozzie. Have a great day. Oh, to be young again. I love it. I don't want to dissuade anyone. Go ahead and believe. I'm just going to try and temper some things with some legitimate, what's going on? How's this going to happen? How's that going to happen? Let's go to Jason in Uniontown. Hello, Jason.
Hey. The weekend always feels good with a Steeler win. I will say that. But
it makes everybody happy, man. It does. It feels good, no doubt.
My main concern, and it's the second half. I've seen a lot of wide open receivers for like the 4th, 5th week in a row. It just didn't bite them in the butt this game.
Well, that's because you know what? That's because they got after the quarterback today. That was the difference.
Definitely. Now, did they get after the quarterback because they didn't have a quick passing game? If they would have had a quick passing game, where would we be at? I think the defense is good at making turnovers, but as a whole, they're still very suspect.
Oh, I think so, and that's what concerns me. And you look at Herbert. Here's a guy that athletically, he's one of the best throwers of the football, in the NFL right now. And he ran for 57 yards today and a rushing touchdown. We've seen it. As you've been. It says here that you're a diehard Steeler fan. So, Jason, you've been watching him a long time, right?
Diehard since I was born.
The two things that I think the Steelers have struggled with as long as I can remember, and that's been a while. Tight ends, we've seen too much of that. They did a pretty decent job on Tyler Warren today. I'll give him credit for that. But just when you think you have everybody covered and the quarterback's back there, there's no one to throw to, when he tucks it and goes, there's usually no one around to stop him. And Herbert's that guy, and that just breaks your back. When you have guys covered and you have what you should have is a covered sack because someone should get to the quarterback at that point, and then a guy like Herbert, man, just tucks it and goes, man, that's a backbreaker.
We all seen what Joe Flacco did to us.
Exactly. He went 13 yards at 41 years of age, for heaven's sake.
Yeah. What would you do with Joey Porter, though? You tie his hands behind his back or what?
And here's what. Everybody knew that's who he was coming out of Penn State. Everybody knew he had trouble, with pass interference calls, holding on to people, grabbing people. I don't know. I would in practice. In practice, I would tie his hands up and say you got to go cover guys in practice without using your hands.
Can I ask you one last question?
Absolutely, Jason. Feel free.
How would you, since he's so hands-on, do you think he would be better at like a safety position?
Well, no, they don't have any corners right now. They do not have that luxury. They don't have any safeties either. They've got those guys hurt, but he's their best cover corner. And the problem is he's going to get them a lot of PIs, and that's rough.
Yes.
And that's another thing this regime has not been good at, drafting and developing defensive backs. They've not been good at that.
Nah, they don't
since Ike Taylor, man. I wish they could bring Ike Taylor back. He could cover people. I love Ike Taylor. All right, Jason, have a great rest of your day. KP and Kenny, I'm going to get to a break to allow our man Jolie to give you a headline, and then we'll be right back with more of your calls. It is the Black and Gold Fan Reaction Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
3 games in progress right now. The Raiders with a Brock Bowers touchdown on the board against the Jaguars 6-0. Rams a commanding 20-3 lead over the Saints. And the Bills and Chiefs are having a good one right now. 14-10 Buffalo. All 3 of those games in the second quarter. Tonight, Seahawks at the Commanders at 8:20 kickoff for Sunday Night Football and your home. 93.7 The Fan is your home for the NFL on Westwood One. Coverage begins at 7:30. Catch it all on the free Odyssey app as well. Fan headlines are powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. And for more, go to 93.7thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. The Fan is bringing out the big boys for the Fan Game Day. Donnie Football, Mark Cavalli, and Jason Mackey host the Enhanced Fan Game Day. The biggest personalities, the hardest working hosts, bringing you all the coverage before the game. The Fan Game Day is brought to you by Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Westminster College, Verizon, official 5G provider of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Schley Deck and Fence, and Saloni's Italian Bread. The Fan Game Day on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
This is Ryan Schlava with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. We've been saving people time, money, and stress for over a decade. You don't have to list with an agent, make any repairs, or have a long closing process. Just call 412-500-9057 for a good fit, come to the house, make you a cash offer on the spot. My team will handle the rest. Dealing with a complicated situation? No problem. Call 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com for a cash offer today.
Hey, it's Andrew Filipponi for the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 93.7 The Fan, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride that hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However, you want to play, now is the perfect time to join, because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. How about that? So visit FanDuel.com/Andrew to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus in President, Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now eligible bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.FanDuel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Brian's headed to the basketball court, but he's sick of this check engine light. So he goes to AutoZone for the free Fix Finder service,
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
where a friendly AutoZoner reads the light in just a few minutes and gives him a detailed report.
No big, just a loose gas cap.
And gets him to the court with a tight gas cap and tighter defense. The free Fix Finder service at AutoZone. No hassles, just help. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at StraightTalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
At Giant Eagle, we're helping bring the holiday magic home. Because your get-togethers bring everyone together. Because you make the holidays feel like the holidays. Because nothing beats free. From October 16th to November 6th, spend $350 and earn a free turkey on your next visit. Redeem through November 30th. Giant Eagle. Because it matters. Must scan My Perks loyalty card to earn and redeem. Restrictions apply. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
If you're hosting a Halloween party, then make a potion with on-sale spirits from Fine Wine and Good Spirits. Batch a monstrous Manhattan with Jim Beam Devil's Cut Straight Bourbon, conjuring notes of deep oak and vanilla. Or stir up a Speak of the Devil using Ghost Tequila Blanco and a bite of juicy raspberry liqueur. Just grab a bottle, the ice, shake, and poof, the perfect potion. Shop Wickedly Good Spirits in-store or online at FWGS.com. Both bottles 750 milliliter. Offers on November 2nd, 2025. Please enjoy responsibly.
84 Lumber is your one-stop destination for top quality materials and personalized service. Whether you're a seasoned contractor or a first-time do-it-yourselfer, 84 Lumber is open to the public and ready to help you with your project from estimate to build. Their 14 Pittsburgh area locations are open on Saturdays for your convenience. Don't wait. Visit your local 84 Lumber to stock up on supplies this weekend. And let's get building together.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Welcome back. Paul Alexander with you. On Fan Reaction, we'll take you right up until Sunday Night Football. And I think we might have a new Is that a new field goal record? What was the distance on that Jacksonville field goal? The man's name is Little, and that was big. That was very big. Seems to be pretty fired up. I'll get the details on that. In the meantime, let's go to Kenny. He's checking in from Washington. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Hey, wanted to call and, I guess, touch on two things. One, I guess, just overall feelings from that game. A cautious optimism, if to put it, I guess, the way I'm thinking. Cautious because obviously from the past, I guess, the two prior games and the pretty poor performance they put on, but obviously the optimism of beating a pretty serious Colts team that obviously has put up a bunch of numbers against some teams around the league. And really want to get your take on, like, what do the Steelers need to do to stop some of these just, like, 3-and-outs in key parts of the game that are just killing them and just giving them, like, the other team the ball back with so much time left.
And it's the same thing for me, more in the first half than the second half. The Colts didn't do anything offensively really in the second half until the game was pretty much out of reach. But I always see the opposition able to play pitch and catch. You know, I mean, they scheme guys open and the quarterback has time and delivers it, and it's 8, 10, 12, 14, whatever. You know, and we saw it with Jamar Chase. We saw it. I mean, it was ridiculous with 21 consecutive completions. There's just so many things that seem easy against Pittsburgh. And then the Steelers, you know, if you're able to play pitch and catch with that kind of ease, you don't go 3-and-out. But the Steelers always seem to go 3-and-out, or at least they're near the top of the league each and every year. Even with Aaron Rodgers back there, they still go 3-and-out way too much. They start the game 3-and-out. That to me sets a really bad tone. Granted, they overcame, you know, the worst case scenario. The Colts go the length, they score a touchdown. The Steelers go 3-and-out, give it right back. Yeah. I thought it was a here we go again, and thankfully it wasn't for the Steelers because they started turning the Colts over. They started really getting after Danny Dimes. I thought defensively they were so aggressive and they seemed to be everywhere. That's what they need to be. They need to be a swarming, unbelievably relentless defense that puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback because one thing's pretty obvious to me, they don't cover people very well.
Oh, especially tight ends.
Or wide receivers or anybody. Yeah, they just don't cover. They're built to get at the quarterback, and obviously every offensive coordinator knows that, so they want to get rid of the ball as quickly as they can or just run it down your throat. And the Steelers are lucky today that the Colts didn't run it down their throats, and I'm going to give the Steelers a whole lot of credit because, again, it's as old as time. If you stop the run, you're able to do anything you want on defense. You really are. And that's what happened today. Because Taylor's been one of the best backs in the league by far coming into this game, and he had no impact on the game at all today.
And do you think that, obviously, since their complete lack of being able to cover anybody, obviously it's a scheme issue, but, like, it doesn't seem like they have any interest in changing that scheme when we're running these zone defenses. Like, what is it? They just, like, I know we're down personnel, or we just don't have the right people, and obviously age and whatever excuse you want to pull out of the hat. Like, what's stopping them from doing like a man or something? Like,
it's personnel more than anything, Kenny. I think that Porter is capable, but he can't keep his hands to himself. I mean, that's something you learn as a young kid. You know, keep your hands to yourself, but he can't. He can't do that. And Slay's way too old and too slow. Ramsey, he can be great, or he can be. I mean, you know, he tried to cover Jamar Chase by himself. No, that ain't that. He's not that guy anymore. I'm not sure anyone is though, but I just don't think they have the personnel to, you know, play cover zero. But what they don't do nearly well enough or nearly often enough, in my opinion, why don't you jam the receivers at the line of scrimmage? Throw them off their routes. Totally do something that doesn't make it. Again, you see too much pitch and catch. Quarterback stands back there, delivers an 8-yard strike, and it's just so easy. It's pitch and catch. The Steelers, for whatever reason, they don't get to play much pitch and catch. It seems as if every, completion is a real difficult thing to achieve. And it comes so easy against them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure why with Aaron back there, they don't have the ability to just get people open. Maybe they don't have enough receivers. DK, obviously, he's extremely fast, but I don't know if he's quick, and I don't know if he's a good route runner. And I know he doesn't have great hands. He has a lot of drops. Calvin Austin is a guy that I think now that he's back, he's a guy that can get open for you and will get open for you and will catch the ball. I don't care what his size is. He's tough. And he catches, he catches balls in traffic. He catches combat catches. So I think him coming back is going to be a big help. The Roman Wilson, I don't know what that fumble's going to do to his confidence or to his availability. I don't know if they're going to trust him going forward as much after he coughed it up. We'll see. Or we have the trade deadline on Tuesday. Maybe there's another receiver out there that they want to go get, and that wouldn't bother anybody. That would not bother anybody.
And I guess last thing, and you can let me go. I hope the Roman Wilson fumble doesn't I hope the coaches obviously coach that and make it a learning opportunity for him. I get what he was trying to do and get the extra yards, but
that wasn't the time, and I think he will. He's
not the time. But
I enjoy taking shots at Michigan men. Maybe he's not bright enough to know that that's not the time, but he should. And I think going forward, that's one of those things. It should be a learning situation. There should be a long conversation. Hey, if we're down 14 in the fourth quarter, fight for every yard you can get. Try to make the big play. If we have the ball in the lead, you're not doing anything stupid to turn it over, ever. It's real simple. I mean, and I'm sure he's smart enough, but he hasn't been playing enough. So when he gets an opportunity to make a play, he's going to give it. He doesn't want to not be in the field on the next play, so he wants to make something happen. And a lot of times you can try too hard, and that was an instance of that. He was just trying too hard. Wrong time to do that. It was a horrible time to do that.
For sure. But, I hope it doesn't limit it or lose him some snaps because I think if he's utilized
I would be encouraged by that, Kenny, because I don't think he'll do that again.
Yeah. If he's utilized right, I think it can be a weapon.
And let's hope that they're in situations like that again, where you have the ball in the lead, and sometimes the best thing to do is just get down on the ground.
Yep.
All right, Kenny, have a great rest of your night.
You too. Thank you, Paul.
All right. Kenny checking in from Washington. All right. First time we've had a little lull. We got a little break, 412-928-9370. And this is typical unless, we had a caller earlier that, he had to get his pound of flesh for anyone that ever said anything negative about Mike Tomlin. It's all been fixed. It's all perfect. And how dare you? He lost his mind. We might get a couple more of those, but they did enough well today that no one's probably very angry right now. And for whatever reason, unlike Kenny right there was not angry at all. And we had a nice conversation. But in general, the phone lines light up. The number one phone light up. A bad call that may cost you the game. People lose their minds. The fix is in. The refs hate the Steelers. Blah, blah. You've heard that diatribe. You've heard that line of conversations. And then, a guy or two has a bad day. And, a bad fumble, a bad pick, or bad whatever. Yeah, everyone calls and piles on. That's what people love to do. But I would like you to tell me why the Ravens are still the favorite to win the AFC North. Granted, Lamar's back. They look good on Thursday night. They look real good on Thursday night. But, man, at a 1-5 start, they're still the favorite? Are you serious? How do you feel about that? And for all of you that are still buying in 100% on the Steelers, why do the betting folks that don't want to lose their shirts on a bet, if you were to bet the Steelers to win the AFC North right now, you'd have good odds. So if you feel very bullish on the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, go make some money. Because the Ravens gave you, a huge head start. They're slowly digging out of a big hole that they dug. What's going to happen? What's the answer for Justin Herbert next week? What's the answer for the trip to the West Coast? Go ahead and look at the numbers. That's, we saw Mike Tomlin on Thursday nights. That somehow came to fruition. And the West Coast has not been kind either. I used to make those trips, and they rarely ended well. I remember one game in Oakland that was just maybe the worst football game I had ever covered by the Steelers. It was just awful. And there have been some eggs laid after the Steelers traveling from east to west. I'm not predicting that. But the one thing that stood out to me about Herbert, what he did today, is 250 yards passing with 2 touchdowns, no picks, and 57 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown. That's a lot to handle. That's tough. Fan Text Line brought to you by Edgar Snyder & Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. Fan Twitter brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. All right, phone lines are wide open. I imagine Jeff, is that Jeff, Joel, that was sending you all that sound, all the locker room? It's all in there. We have a ton of sound. There's the hardest working man in show business. He called the Pitt at Stanford game yesterday. Who knows what time he got back into Pittsburgh last night. I know they chartered back same night. And there he is at the Steeler game, 1 o'clock kick. Getting us outstanding interviews that we even have some of the Super Bowl champs that were honored on their 20th anniversary of beating Seattle in Detroit. That was a memorable experience. I will certainly tell you that. What a week I had in Detroit. Wild. And I knew, and it was so funny, because when we started doing, I forget where I was at that time, maybe KDK TV. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But we were doing preseason NFL picks, and I predicted the Steelers to go to the Super Bowl. And they're like, well, what's that based on? I go, it's based on the fact that the Super Bowl's in Detroit, and won't that be the one I get to go cover? You know, no trip to Arizona, no trip to California, no trip to New Orleans, no trip to Tampa, but I'll get to go to Detroit. And sure enough, that's the way it went down. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't trade it. That group of guys, I said it on Twitter today, one of the greatest group of guys I've ever been around. And I loved that team. I love that team. Let's go to Lou in the South Hills. Hello, Lou. Welcome.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
All right, how you doing?
Good. Hey, I just wanted to, I don't know, for me, they look great today, but to me, it'll be the next few weeks that really tell the tale. I think with the team that they were recognizing there's a lot of emotion. It helps. They're at home.
Yes.
The next few weeks are really going to be the telling tale on if the team is going to be able to pull out and win the division.
And we've seen so many late season collapses.
Oh yeah.
And you know they had a 2-game lead in the AFC North with 3 to play.
Yeah.
Somehow managed to lose. They started 11-0, and then managed to lose 5 of 6.
Yep.
So I'm not painting that as, I'm just saying it's a great game, a great win. 5-3 is putting you in good position when the Ravens are 2-5. I think all of that is good. The Bengals lost today. I don't think you have to worry about the Browns. So the division is all there for you. But I'm not sure, like you said, as the schedule gets a little tougher, the games get a little tougher. Good luck with all that.
Yeah, and I will say this real quick. On that fumble by Wilson, Roman, I honestly expected a Lions comeback there. Or not Lions, I'm sorry, Colts.
Yeah, I knew it was too far. I mean, it certainly presented the opportunity, but they had been kind of bad most of the day. I didn't think they had I don't know if you play any golf, but sometimes when you're out there and you're just not hitting it very well, you're not playing very well, and you know what, you hit one really good one on a par 3, you knock it in for a 2, you have 4 holes left, you're like, you know what, I don't think that's going to bring me back. I'm still not hitting it very well. I don't know what the hell's going on, but the Colts just didn't have it today. And you know what? They didn't have to. They're sitting pretty. They're 7-2 right now. They have no worries. That was nothing. Yeah. Didn't hurt them at all.
Yep, I agree.
All right, Lou, let's hope. I mean, I hope the next few weeks show us that we might as well, strap in and get ready for a great ride. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
The defense looks real good today, and
passionate today.
Just irks me that they are so up and down. We saw them the last couple of weeks, and they looked terrible.
They were awful. They were absolutely awful.
Great today, and it's some of the consistency. I think they need to be more consistent.
100%. Not the roller coaster ride. Lou, thanks so much for the call. I want to get to a break so Joel can give us a headline, and I'm going to remind you that. No, I've already reminded you about that. I'll have fan weather for you in a little bit. This is the Fan Reaction Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Every Wednesday, 93.7 The Fan gives you an inside look from a former general manager with Wednesday with Whaley.
Hey, we're playing to win the game.
Doug Whaley joins the Fan Morning Show from 9 to 10 to give his insight from the front office perspective. Wednesdays with Whaley. Doug Whaley is brought to you by Tri-State Office Furniture, Morgan & Morgan Law Firm, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, and Bet365. Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
3 games in progress right now. The Raiders have a 6-3 lead over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rams lead the Saints 20-10, and the Bills are up 21-10 on the Kansas City Chiefs. Later tonight, the Seahawks are at the Commanders, and it's on Westwood 1 and right here on 93.7 The Fan, your home for the NFL on Westwood 1. Coverage begins at 7:30, and kickoff is set for 8:20. Catch it all on the free Odyssey app as well. Fan Headlines are powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. You can catch up on the latest Pittsburgh sports news anytime. Just tell your smart device to play Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
93.7 The Fan from Odyssey.
Pittsburgh sports, smart and able. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Hey, it's Jason Mackey, Westminster College class of 2006. Westminster College means a lot to me. I learned from great professors and received hands-on experience in media that prepared me for the career I have today. At Westminster College, every student accepted for fall 2026 is guaranteed a scholarship, making exceptional education genuinely affordable. I'm living proof that real experiences lead to real success. Visit westminster.edu to learn more and to find out if you're eligible for a $1,000 visit grant.
Hey Pittsburgh, it's Chris Muller here with some big news. Verizon, America's best 5G network, wants you to bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill, and they'll give you a better deal. If you think Verizon is expensive, well, think again. Not only does Verizon let you lock in your low price for 3 years, everyone in the family can mix and match their plans with My Plan. And they let everyone get the same great phone deals when they trade in an eligible phone in any condition on My Plan. That means new and existing customers. That's more reasons to save, more reasons to switch. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Pittsburgh Verizon store, and they'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score Report dated first half 2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. 3-year price lock applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms apply to promotional offers. See Verizon.com/switch to Verizon.
In St. Pete Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
Hey, Chris Muller here, and look, I don't like wasting money, especially mine. And if you've got an HSA or FSA, you might be about to do just that. Those pre-tax dollars, they could vanish at the end of the year. But here's the move. Use them on something that pays you dividends every single day, your health. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is HSA and FSA approved because it's doctor approved and recognized for its real results. Best part, you don't have to guess what you'll save. Just head to awaken180weightloss.com and use their savings calculator. You could save anywhere from 22 to 40% off your entire program. You all know my story. I didn't skip a holiday, a dinner out, or a night with friends while dropping my 35 pounds. How? Awaken 180 works with real life, not against it. Weekly weight loss and free support for life. Don't let money go to waste. Let it help you earn daily dividends instead. Call your medication-free solution for weight loss at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Target's early Black Friday deals are almost here, and they're bigger than ever.
Take 40% off select gifts and holiday decor for 3 days only, starting this Thursday. Score can't-miss deals on new fits for the whole fam, festive lights and decorations to brighten your home, and even top toys like select Lego sets for endless holiday fun. Shop in-store or online, but don't miss out. These deals are going fast. 40% off gifts and holiday decor starts Thursday only at Target. Restrictions apply.
BetMGM has an unreal deal for pro football fans this season. Turn $10 into $150 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code PIT150. Then place a $10 bet on pro football. You'll get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The possibilities don't end there. When you join BetMGM, you get access to a variety of parlay selection features like same-game parlays, live betting options, and more. Download the BetMGM app today and get $150 in bonus bets if you win your first bet with bonus code PIT150. Make this pro football season one for the history books. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two get two free offer. Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Steelers win over the Colts 27-20, slow down and turn over one of the best offenses in the NFL to date. But is it sustainable? Why are the Ravens still favored to win the AFC North? Are you buying in to what you saw today? We saw two really subpar performances defensively, in particular, from the Steelers the 2 weeks prior. I mean, they were just bad. Absolutely bad. Historically bad. We had one quarterback throw 21 straight completions. One receiver have 16, a franchise best 16 receptions. Things were bad. Today, the Steelers turned over the Colts 6 times. Danny Dimes and Taylor, they were just absolute. Warren, those guys were tearing up the rest of the NFL. And all of a sudden today, that came to an abrupt halt. Is it sustainable? Are you buying what they're selling? Why? And are the Steelers going to win the AFC North? Is that a done deal to you? 412-928-9370. It is the Fan Reaction on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. I do have plenty, and I mean plenty, of great post-game sound and interviews. I'm certainly going to get those queued up for you and ready to go. But in the meantime, we're going to chat with Bob in Huntington. Hello, Bob.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm well. You?
Pretty good. I used to watch you back when you were in Altoona.
Oh, that's going back a ways.
Yeah, it is. I have one question.
Sure.
Why do you suppose the defense looked like it did today versus the last 2 weeks?
I think a lot of it is motivation. One, these guys are prideful, and they know they're better than they've been playing. I don't think there's any question about that. I don't think, when you look at the roster, you look at the talent, they've been underachieving in a huge way. And two, the emotion that comes with honoring a Super Bowl championship team and all of those guys. You got Ben and Bettis and Kiesel and all those guys, Dick LeBeau, all those guys hanging out, Casey Hampton, James Ferrier, go on and on. And the fans just get all geeked up because you know what? Those guys saw, you know what, like Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt, and those guys have been around, and they've been great players for the Steelers, but you know what? They haven't won jack. They haven't won anything. And when they see exactly how they're treated for having been Super Bowl champions, some of them won, the next one in Tampa, some of those guys. I think that motivated those guys to be who they are. I don't think today was a fluke. I think this is how good they can be. Now, turning someone over 6 times, you have to understand they were somewhat complicit. The Colts had a bad day. Most of it was because the Steelers had a really good day defensively. But you can't expect Justin Herbert to have a bad day next week. You can't count on that. And I'm not sure you can count on 6 turnovers a game. You better be able to stop the run, which I thought they did well today, and just play good, solid defense when you need to. Get off on 3rd down. Keep a team under 30 points. If you do those things, then I think this offense is certainly good enough to do what they've done over the last 3 weeks. I think the offense has been good enough to win the last 3 games. It's a shame that 2 of them were losses, and that was all on the defense. And then the thing that bothered me about those 2 losses is Mike Tomlin won in that first game saying, well, we can't turn it over. We can't lose the turnover battle. I mean, they had 2 turnovers and scored 31 points and lost to a really bad Bengals team. I mean, that was not on the offense. That was on the defense. And then, last week, a little more of the same, talking about how, we can't settle for field goals. We got to score touchdowns, which is true, but you can't give up the points that you give up defensively when your offense puts up 25. You can't lose that game.
Yeah, I agree. I appreciate your viewpoint. I'm still trying to put that together.
Yeah, I mean, it's week to week. I think we're learning that in the NFL. I mean, the Colts were gangbusters up until today, and the Steelers were a sieve defensively up until today. And I don't know how it's like a light switch sometimes. I don't know how you turn that stuff on and off, but I'd love to see a little more consistency from this defense. And if I find that, then I'll believe in this being a team that can maybe win a playoff game, win the division and win a playoff game. And to me, that's a hell of a season based on what we've been dealing with over the last decade or so.
For sure. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, what do we have time for here? Let me sneak something in here from the Steelers locker room because we don't have anyone on the line at the moment. So I'm going to sneak in here, and I'm going to grab Aaron Rodgers, and I think we have just enough. No, we don't have enough time for Aaron. I'll get him a little bit later. Let's get no, we don't have enough time for that either. All right, here we go. Let's get Jaylen Warren, who, by the way, I guess was really oh, no, that's only 8 seconds. Come on. What are we doing here? How about Peyton Wilson, who had a pick and caused another? Let's hear. No, that's just the play itself. So you have to understand, I'm just seeing this at the first chance that I'm seeing it. Yeah, maybe a little refresh. That's a great idea, Joel. Thank you. Joel in my ear said it might be time to refresh. Well, there we go. There we go. There we go. And there we have Peyton Wilson, who I thought had a hell of a day.
It's awesome. We haven't really been the defense that we wanted to be pretty much all year. Obviously, it's a game here or there, but I feel like we put a lot of things together. Still a lot of room to improve, which is honestly the scary thing, but we just have to keep putting that product on the field. Like Cam said last week, we can't ride this wave that we've been doing. We just have to be consistent, and we have to execute, and that's what we did today. Still room to improve, though.
Peyton, you guys haven't had a turnover in 3 games. Today you have 6. How does that happen?
I think a lot of it's just the energy that was in here today. I feel like we always put an emphasis on it, but it was in our demeanor today from the time we left this locker room and that's a part of the Steelers. That's how you become a Steeler, turnovers, big hits, big plays like that, and that's what everyone in this locker room wanted to get back to, so we were just excited that we can. We just have to keep doing it every week.
TJ felt like you guys were obviously more aggressive, and that was one of the keys here today. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel like we really honed in this week, kept it a little simple, and guys were just flying around and being aggressive, and it was fun to watch. It was fun to be a part of.
You mentioned the different energy today. Is that something you felt all week long that was different?
Yeah, and it sucks because you don't want it to be like that. You want that every single week, and that's what we have to continue to do. It can't be, we got our butts kicked 2 weeks in a row, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and then we're like, oh, now we come to play. We have to do this every single week, and like I said, there's still so much to improve on that, we're going to get back in the lab, and we're going to continue to get better and continue to play.
Does it mean a little bit more doing it against this offense, the best offense in the NFL right now?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but that's the product we want every single week, no matter who we're playing. The people we have in here, obviously everyone knows some of these guys are the best in their position for long, long time. So we want to be doing that against every offense, not high 1 week, low 1 week. No matter who it is, that's how we should look.
Was TA with all the...
So there you hear it. Peyton Wilson, nice job there by my good buddy Richie Walsh, getting some good questions in there. Let's hear from T.J. Watt, who, to me, turned the game completely around after falling behind 7-0 and coming up with that strip sack. That was the first of 6 turnovers on the day, and he got the trifecta. He caused a fumble, recovered the fumble. That's big time. Here's T.J.
Feeling a little bit better about this defense after today's performance?
Yeah, but, never too high, never too low. We got to stack these performances, and felt like we were dominating a good part of the day, and then don't want to let them back into the game at the end, but there's a lot of good things to come from today.
You kept stressing turnovers. You guys haven't had any in 3 games, and today you have 6. How does that happen?
I'll start with smashing the run first and foremost, getting them one-dimensional, and just pinning our ears back and going, playing fast, playing physical football, playing simplified football, allows us to make more plays.
Was that the key, just being aggressive?
Part of it, yeah. Guys being in their gap and everything also helps. Offense moving like they were helps. We just got to be, those opportunities have been there. It's just making those plays when they come.
I feel like maybe the attitude is, not the attitude, but everyone says not to ride that roller coaster. Do you feel like there's a better feeling in here after a win like this?
Absolutely. Wins are hard to come by in the NFL, especially against a good team like that. So we're happy about the win, but we have a lot of good film to watch.
Is there anything you noticed different this week in preparation?
Obviously, like we talked about simplifying things, we had, Duggar just came in 3 days ago and played the full game for us. Hell of a performance. Obviously, guys just get down the edge. Alex, Sawyer had a pick today, which is pretty cool. Just a great performance as a whole.
I think going back to Peyton Wilson, the energy, that's what I felt. And I think a lot of it came from, one, being sick and tired of, being the problem. The defense, which, as we all know here, that's what Steeler football has been built on, is toughness and defense. And I go back to the 70s. That's when most of us, of a certain age, that's where the love affair began. And that was the steel curtain. They were shutting teams out. They were unbelievable. And then obviously there's been some incredible defensive since then. And both of the Super Bowls, well, maybe not so much in 40, but that defense in Tampa in 2009, yeah, that's a big-time defense. And a lot of those guys were part of it in 05 as well in Detroit. So I think the energy was a big part of it. And I think those guys, the leaders of that defense, and TJ and Cam, they haven't won anything as Steelers. And I think it's really gnawing at them. And they saw how when you win a Super Bowl and you have an anniversary, this being the 20th anniversary of that Super Bowl team that won in Detroit, you see how they're treated. They're royalty. And that's forever. You win a championship together, you walk together forever. That never goes away. All right, we have more time. We have another 90 minutes. 412-928-9370. I have plenty more sound to get to. Chris, we'll get to you right after the top of the hour here. Joel's going to have a headline. Then we have plenty more time to talk. Steelers over the Colts, 27-20, 5-3, still on top in the AFC North. Are they going to hold on to that lead? Are they going to finish the job this year? Are they going to win a playoff game this year? I want your thoughts at 412-928-9370. Right here on Fan Reaction. I'm Paul Alexander on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Pony and Muller here. Mike and Mike's Beer Bar is a big fan of us. In fact, he gave us our own beer. Okay, well, kind of. Each month, Mike picks a local beer that we call the Fan Beer of the Month. Mike's Fan Beer of the Month for November is Jackworth Hard Ginger Beer. And the charity sales will benefit the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
And if you don't like the Fan Beer of the Month, or you just don't like us, Mike has 4 other beers on tap that you can select, and he will make a donation to the charity. Check out the Fan Beer of the Month at Mike's Beer Bar.
Meet me at Mike's.
Your hometown building partner since 1956, 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com. HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey Sports Station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
Having experienced, qualified judges on the bench is crucial for our democracy. On Election Day, the Allegheny County Bar Association encourages you to vote yes to retain these qualified judges from the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas. Judge Alan Hertzberg, Judge Beth Lazara, Judge Jennifer Staley McCready, Judge Hugh McGough, Judge Dan Reagan, Judge Dwayne Woodruff. The attorneys who practice in front of these judges recommend them because of their honesty, integrity, and temperament. For more information, visit www.judicialvote2025.org. Paid for by the ACBA Judicial Excellence Committee.
Calling all premium cigar smokers. Don't miss the Verona News Cigars CAO Smoker on Allegheny River Boulevard, Friday, November 7th from 7 to 10 p.m. Enjoy a great evening of cigar smoking, pig roast, the Heineken Beer Wagon. Meet a CAO representee. Save 25% on CAO box cigars. Buy 5, get 2 free. Plus raffles for great prizes. It's the Verona News CAO Cigar Smoker. Friday, November 7th from 7 to 10 p.m. Call 412-828-9119 for details.
NFL Sunday's coming. You got your crew, your couch, your snacks, your slate, and FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge is coming in with something extra. This isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place that perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop, and now we're making it even better because this week FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all FanDuel customers get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. All customers get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account because that's what Sundays should feel like. So visit FanDuel.com/Starkey to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. That's FanDuel.com/Starkey. 21 plus and press in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fans, Fan About Town. The Panthers are back on the field, and Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan is your home for all the action. From pregame to postgame, coverage on The Fan is brought to you by Boss TV and Appliance, Saloni's Italian Bread, Leon's Billiards and more, and the Feeney Insurance Agency. Get up with Nick Callis and The Fan Early Morning Show every Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 5:40, presented by Steel City Medical Center. Put the smile back in your life. Rediscover your strength and confidence at Steel City Medical Center and get up with Nick and the Fan Early Morning Show every weekday morning at 5. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For more information, visit 937thefan.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Fan weather is brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. Temperatures in the 50s, handful of days throughout the week, and temperatures in the 60s on others. Chances of rain for Wednesday and Friday. That's fan weather brought to you by Myers Law Group.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
All right, Joel Nelson for fan headlines. Steelers this afternoon, 27-20 winners over the Indianapolis Colts. Steelers now 5-3. They travel to Los Angeles next Sunday to take on the Chargers for Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football tonight is the Commanders hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Kickoff is 8:20. Coverage at 7:30 via Westwood One. 93.7 The Fan is your home for the NFL on Westwood One. Catch it all tonight on the free Odyssey app as well. For more, get to 937thefan.com. Right now, it's more fan reaction with Paul Alexander.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com. Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Third quarter just underway now in Buffalo. Bills leading Kansas City 21-13. And again, when I do this, I can't really watch a game like I would like to. But I would think it's probably been pretty entertaining. But the Bills have that lead 21-13. Steelers win 27-20. They force 6 turnovers. They go 3 straight games without forcing one, without getting one. They get 6 today. And not many teams in the history of the NFL or any other organized football league, you don't turn it over 6 times and win. But how many times are there going to be 6 turnovers in a game? And the run was not a factor today. I thought the Steelers did a great job with Taylor, although I don't think that they featured him very much. But I still have questions. Who are the Steelers? The last 3 games, the last 2 games, or today? I mean, we're all hopeful that it's today, but I think Sunday's going to be very difficult. Justin Herbert, again, I'll reiterate. 250 yards passing, couple of touchdowns, no interceptions, 57 yards rushing, and a rushing touchdown. Damn, that scares me. If I'm a defense, I'm like, okay, we get everybody covered, we force him out of the pocket, then he goes 11 yards for a first down. It just breaks your back. I mean, the quarterback scramble, I think, is the most deflating thing a defense can ever try to overcome. You have everything, you've done everything right. And if the quarterback's not necessarily a running quarterback, not a Lamar Jackson, not a guy, no design runs. Justin Herbert has no designed runs. He's not that guy. But when things break down, damn straight he can run. They just scare me. And that's something that the Steelers don't have. And we saw the attempt for Aaron to score from the 4. That he just like turtled at the 1-yard line. He's 41 years old. I'm not mad at him. I'm not blaming him. It's just he's not that guy. Let's go to Chris in Clairton. Hello, Chris.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I wanted to talk about learning lessons even in wins. Like, for example, Roman Wilson is going to learn from that fumble, and it's just a lot easier to learn that after a win than if it would have lost us the game.
100%.
But I'm a Mike Tomlin defender, but he makes it hard sometimes. I wanted to talk about the clock management at the end of the first half. We're up 14-7 with 2 timeouts inside the 2-minute warning.
I think he still thinks he gets to keep those for the next half.
Well, and I know you don't want to give the Colts the ball back, but remember, you're playing the number 1
You still want to score touchdowns. Remember, he's the one that said you can't get field goals, you have to get touchdowns.
Right.
That's
and
his own words.
Stop us. We ran the clock out on ourselves where we had to kick a field goal instead of giving us a chance for a touchdown. And that's not a problem this season. That's a recurring.
Oh, I know, and
that's
recurring. And I get to do high school football on Fridays, what I absolutely love. The high school coaches in our area are outstanding, and they don't do that. They don't do that. I mean, what are we doing?
And that's where I think we still have one of the smallest coaching staffs on the league, if I'm correct. But that's where we need a time management coach that's telling him.
As well as a challenge coach, and that could be the same guy.
Absolutely.
How about one guy that's really good with clock management? Get an MIT guy or get somebody that maybe never played a down of football in his life, but has all the analytics and everything else. Like, no, you got to take a timeout here. You don't take a timeout here. I mean, we all know. I mean, those of us that love and have followed football, maybe played a little bit in high school or whatever, we love it and we get it. And when the coaches that are paid $18 to $20 million a year don't, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, 21-7 is much different at halftime than 17-7. I was not comfortable at all.
You mean from the guy that he kind of implied that his defense cost him a game last week because they kicked field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. That kind of happened. Let's go to Chris in Canonsburg. Hey, Chris.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good. Hey, got to give Tomlin a little bit of credit. He called it during the week that they got to stop the run to be effective on defense. And I think they stopped the run very well today with Taylor. Like you said, they didn't rush him as much as they should have, but I feel like they kind of seen the writing on the wall that they weren't moving us at all. So stopping the run is going to be big for us the next 2 weeks.
Oh, it's going to be huge. And Chris, here's the other thing, though. Why are they never ready at the start of the game? Look at first drives by the opposition. They go right down the field pretty routinely against the Steelers defense. Why is that?
The defense wasn't even set on the goal line play with Daniel Jones.
No, not at all.
I want to say 2 guys were set, ready to go. I mean, that you got to be ready. You know what's coming.
I would think.
They had nobody on the line, and that was that. The first 5 minutes of the game was awful today.
And then how about the fake punt, man? You're asleep at the wheel there too.
Yep.
Asleep at the wheel. They're not lucky. They forced 6 turnovers. They earned the win today, but you better not bank on 6 turnovers every week.
I mean, did they win the game or did the Colts lose the game?
It was a combination, but I want to give the defense credit for forcing those turnovers. And you cut the Colts at a great time. They're fat and happy at 7-1 coming in. The rest of their division is kind of, not really coming after them, not really mounting anything. And they have a lot of weapons, and Danny Dimes is, playing really well, great deal of confidence. I think they caught him with their guard down, and they just poured it on. Even though, give the Colts credit. They made it somewhat interesting at the end of the game. But to me, the game was never in jeopardy. That game was the result of that game was never in doubt in the fourth quarter.
Now, what's more important for the Steelers to do? Go out and get a cornerback or go out and get a wide receiver? If you had to get one or the other,
I'm grabbing a corner because we've seen with Calvin Austin back and with Pat Freiermuth not being on a milk carton anymore, they have that complement there. I wouldn't mind. I'd like him to go get both, to be honest. But I think they need a corner. I think the corner they can't cover anyone. I think if I gave somebody someone a good head and shoulders, I could get open.
Yeah, 14 was open all day today. They couldn't cover him.
They just couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't at all.
Couldn't cover him.
And by the way,
it's not a superstar. He's not a superstar.
He's not Jamar Chase.
No, and they couldn't cover him either.
And how about 21 straight completions? That happened against your secondary. That's embarrassing as hell.
They got shut down today by Carolina. Carolina's awful. They gave up what?
They gave 13 points, I think. Yeah.
Carolina. Oh my goodness.
What are we doing?
I
don't know, Chris. I don't know. But hey, we all got yelled at today because we were critical of the Steelers defense over the past 2 weeks. You know why?
They were awful.
Because they sucked. How about that?
They were awful.
Exactly. Yep. Chris, thanks so much for the call. Have a great day. KP, I'm glad you called back. I tried to get you in before, but ran out of time, or real estate, or whatever. I ran out of something. But you're welcome, and you're on the line right now. What's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just kind of wanted to comment on today's game as a whole totality. Yes, a win is a win. I'm happy we eked out with a win. I feel like it was desperation mode. If we'd have lost today's game, the season would have just snowballed out of control, I feel like. But I do want to comment on one thing that my brother and I, while watching the game, weren't pleased with, is some of these play calling decisions still.
Especially in the second half.
Why are you giving DK Metcalf a jet sweep like he's going to break 20 tackles to score a touchdown? Not only that, but why would you throw those bogus passes to Darnell Washington in the red zone? I can see the first one, but the second one, you pretty much threw it down to his ankles. I'm just like, what is going on with this play calling? I'm not being a negative Nancy.
No, I know. And how about you have the ball in the lead in the fourth quarter, and you throw an incomplete pass when they're using all their timeouts? You stop the clock for them.
Well, yeah, right. And not only that, but why are we up by 10 points with almost 2 minutes left and Aaron Rodgers still in the game?
Yeah.
At that point, let Mason Rudolph get in there, put in Caleb Johnson, just run the ball and let the clock run. They had no timeouts.
I know.
At that point. So why are you risking your ancient quarterback from getting hit on some humbug and missing the rest of the season?
And you know what?
Let's be real.
In KP, at his age, you don't even have to get hit to get hurt. I mean, the Achilles, happened all on its own. No one hit him.
Right. I mean, I don't mean to take too much of your time, so I'll conclude in this. We got to make better decisions as a coaching staff. They have to be more prepared. And like I said, if you want to beat Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, even Caleb Williams and Pat Mahomes the rest of the season, we got to do better on offense, and our schematics got to get better. I'm praying to the football gods that North Carolina buys out Belichick, Artie Smith moves on, and we hire McDaniels from Miami. Because despite what Stephen Ross says, McDaniels out at the end of the season. Have a good night, fellas.
All right, thanks, KP. Yeah, he's not a head coach. I think we can maybe all agree on that. But man, can he coach offense? I don't think there's any question about that. And man, that guy on the other sideline today, the fake punt goes on every fourth down. I like brash, really, really aggressive coaching, because that gives your team all the confidence in the world that your coach believes in you. And that matters. And emotion matters. And they got a lot of emotion from that Super Bowl celebration of the 20th anniversary of Super Bowl 40. And I think there was a lot of energy in that building because of that. Remember Kenny Pickett against Oakland? Found a way because it was the Immaculate Reception anniversary. And all those guys were there. You don't want, one, to being called out for stinking when you know they're just speaking the truth. And these guys have a lot of pride. And I think there's a lot of emotion today, which was great. Let's go to Chris in Swissvale. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm okay, buddy. Hey, I don't know whether today's defensive performance is an endorsement or an indictment, because it's very easy for me to look at that game today, which, by the way, I would have given you the Steelers in 20 on Monday.
I know.
And ask myself, did that defense just completely take 2 entire games off? And who's on the hook for that?
That's a great question.
It looks to me like they chose to not play defense for a couple weeks.
They can't cover anybody. I mean, that in the NFL, that's a real difficult approach to the game when you can't cover anybody. And when you're these reclamation projects, Slay certainly I think is close to done, as we're going to see. I don't know about some of the other guys, what they got left, but Joey Porter can't keep his hands to himself. I mean, they've been telling us since grade school, hey, keep your hands to yourself. You remember that, right? He can't for whatever reason. No. He didn't get that message and still can't. But now they got pressure on the quarterback. And I think that's the way, I mean, even going back to Dick LeBeau, they had Ike Taylor and a couple other guys who were pretty good in coverage, but if you don't give them time to throw and you hurry them and hit them, well, then you don't have to be perfect back there in the secondary. The back end doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're not getting to the passer and TJ wasn't and Highsmith wasn't and no one was, well, then you're gonna get what you saw the last 2 weeks. You're gonna get shredded. So I don't know what the answer is to that, Chris. I don't know what they are or who they are. They were good today. They were good today.
Right, and as you said earlier, it's become a week-to-week league. You don't know what you're going to get. And it just bothers me that, they're playing this, over-the-hill gang role. And I'm sorry, but there can only be so many weeks where I know at some point during this week, Mike Tomlin had those guys in a room saying, hey, fellas, the heat is getting turned up here, and you guys are going to get me fired. How many times is that speech going to work?
That's a great question. And I don't know how many times these guys can, strap up the uniforms and still play at a high level. And, the fact that TJ had gone how many games without a sack, and they went 3 straight games as a team without a turnover. Today was great. You get 6 turnovers against a very high-powered offense, and I think that was impressive. But if you think that all the problems are solved, I'd like to smoke a little something with you, because I think you're really high.
You roll a team for 6 turnovers and only beat them by 10. How many did they beat New England by, who coughed it up 5 times?
Yeah, that was a different game.
I mean, it's again, I don't know if it's an endorsement or an indictment. It's easy to look at this and say, well, they just decided not to play for 2 weeks. I mean, I'm assuming they collected their game checks.
Oh, yeah, they always do that, Chris. Always. I got to run top of the hour. Thanks so much for the call. Love your talk. John in Allison Park, you'll be up next. I want to get to a break with Joel with a headline, and then we'll get right back to the calls at 412-928-9370. And we also have some great post-game reaction. We're going to hear from Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers, among others. All of that straight ahead on Fan Reaction on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Get the latest on Pittsburgh sports from anywhere with the Odyssey app. Listen to shows and Pirate Games live. Check out our exclusive interviews and content anytime. Download the Odyssey app now and never miss a minute. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
Later tonight for Sunday Night Football, just over 2 hours from now, the Seahawks are at the Commanders, and 93.7 The Fan is your home for the NFL on Westwood One. They'll be carrying tonight's game with coverage at 7:30, kickoff 8:20. Catch it all on the free Odyssey app as well. Fan headlines are powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
Need legal help without the high price tag? Turn to Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. Myers Law Group specializes in real estate legal solutions for residential and commercial clients. Considering buying or selling, or a sale by owner, home or property, contact Myers Law Group first. Their experienced attorneys will make sure all documents are correct and all promises are kept before the sale. Call Myers Law Group today at 724-778-8800 or visit jpmyerslaw.com.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules. This may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Hey Pittsburgh, it's Chris Muller here with some big news. Verizon, America's best 5G network, wants you to bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill, and they'll give you a better deal. If you think Verizon is expensive, well, think again. Not only does Verizon let you lock in your low price for 3 years, everyone in the family can mix and match their plans with my plan. And they let everyone get the same great phone deals when they trade in an eligible phone in any condition on my plan. That means new and existing customers. That's more reasons to save, more reasons to switch. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Pittsburgh Verizon store, and they'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score Report dated first half 2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. 3-year price lock applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms apply to promotional offers. See Verizon.com/switch to Verizon.
BetMGM has an unreal deal for pro football fans this season. Turn $10 into $150 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code PIT150. Then place a $10 bet on pro football. You'll get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The possibilities don't end there. When you join BetMGM, you get access to a variety of parlay selection features like same-game parlays, live betting options, and more. Download the BetMGM app today and get $150 in bonus bets if you win your first bet with bonus code PIT150. Make this pro football season one for the history books. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
Out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
The Allegheny County Jail is hiring correctional officers and healthcare professionals now. Get a competitive salary, healthcare, and a pension. Ready to make a difference? Apply today at joinacj.com.
Hey, Chris Muller here, and look, I don't like wasting money, especially mine. And if you've got an HSA or FSA, you might be about to do just that. Those pre-tax dollars, they could vanish at the end of the year. But here's the move. Use them on something that pays you dividends every single day, your health. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is HSA and FSA approved because it's doctor approved and recognized for its real results. Best part, you don't have to guess what you'll save. Just head to awaken180weightloss.com and use their savings calculator. You could save anywhere from 22 to 40% off your entire program. You all know my story. I didn't skip a holiday, a dinner out, or a night with friends while dropping my 35 pounds. How? Awaken 180 works with real life, not against it. Weekly weight loss, then free support for life. Don't let money go to waste. Let it help you earn daily dividends instead. Call your medication-free solution for weight loss at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Have you found your dream home? Gina Giampetro has the program to help you buy it now with cash in hand and a no contingency bid. Doran Dickerson of the Fan Morning Show. Gina will sit down with you. You grant a price. You grant a deadline. If the deadline passes and the home isn't sold, she will have it bought and turned into a rental. Pull out your phone. Give Gina a call, 724-602-9752, or Google Gina Giampetro of RE/MAX Select Realty, and look up GinaWillSellYourHome.com. That's Gina will sell your home.com.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Welcome back, fan. Text line brought to you by Edgar Snyder & Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say, never a fee unless we get money for you. Fan Twitter brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. Let's go to John. John, thanks for your patience. You're next up on Fan Reaction. What's going on?
Hey, Paul. Good to hear your voice as always. I'm just curious. Did you hear the post-game presser from him yet by any chance?
I have not. I'm going to play it here in a couple of minutes. I have not had an opportunity to listen.
So here's what I would say, and you'll listen to it, and that's great. If you get a minute, check out the YouTube channel the Steelers have and watch Tomlin. Watch his first 3 minutes where he's monologuing about the game like he normally does before he takes questions. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen a lot of him over the years in post-gamers. I've never seen Mike Tomlin look like he did like a man relieved, a man who over the past 2 weeks is under some pressure. His nonverbal really spoke in his face, his overall just look. That's a man that was very relieved of the result today. And the first 15 minutes were not great. They weren't great, but that defense really just did yeoman's work today for him, and he looked relieved more than anything. If you get a chance, look at
I'm definitely going to take a look at it, no question.
Yeah.
And he should be relieved. I mean, here's a guy that cut his teeth as a defensive backs coach, 1 year as a coordinator, and then all of a sudden he's an NFL head coach. When in his first 5 years he wins a Super Bowl, he's the next best thing. He's sliced bread. He's the greatest orator maybe ever in the history of head coaches in the NFL. You could listen to him all day, but when it becomes nothing but talk and the results aren't there, which they have not been, and you're a defensive guy and you actually are doing pretty well on the offensive side, and your defense is a sieve, he was probably questioning himself. I mean, I imagine at that point, he has some potential Hall of Famers on that defense. I mean, it's the highest paid defense in the entire NFL, and they flat out stink. That's a tough pill to swallow when you're in charge.
Yeah, agreed. I'm just telling you, if you get a chance, watch it and just look at his face and look at his nonverbal. It really spoke a lot about a man who's really feeling the pressure right now. And I appreciate you taking my call, Paulie. You're the best.
All right, John, thank you very much. And, Jerry Dulac, who has been at this for a long time, and he's very close to very many people. He's about as inside as you can get on the Steeler beat, and he does a great job. And you always, I check out his chat every week, and he said that from the top that there is some pressure on Mike Tomlin. And I know those of us that kid all the time about, he has a lifetime contract. What's he worried about? Well, maybe finally some of the minority owners and some of the fan reaction, no pun intended there. This is the fan reaction, but the fan reaction, I think, he doesn't want to throw people under the bus, I don't think. He's a good guy. I don't think anyone's ever questioned that. But whatever he's been doing defensively hasn't worked in a long time. In a long time. And as he says quite often, he's well compensated. He's one of the highest paid NFL head coaches in the league. So, yeah, I'm sure that he's relieved that finally, you go 3 games without a turnover. You have record-setting offensive performances against your defense consecutively. You score 31 and 25 points, and you lose both games. With Dick LeBeau was 17. We're going to keep it 17 and under, and we'll win because our offense will put up at least 20. And all of those things that they had put up as hallmarks, and I saw them back in the day when I was in that locker room every day. You'd see things on the bulletin board, and there were things that they had up there that there were weekly goals, and they didn't change. But what has changed here is the standard, and it's become non-losing. I don't care what anyone wants to say. When you go 9 years without a playoff win, then what is the standard? If that's okay, to me the standard has been lowered significantly. You should never survive that as the head coach of the Steelers. You should never go almost a decade without a playoff win and still be the head football coach. I'll die on that hill. Name anywhere else where that happens. I mean, and I am honestly, I think that you're much better off waiting a little too late instead of too soon when you pull the trigger on things like that. I am not a knee-jerk fire guy at all. Never have been. But there comes a point when, and just look, I mean, I have no idea where the Penguins are going to end up this year, but all of a sudden they're playing pretty good hockey because they have a new voice in the room. And I use it each and every week, and I'll continue to do so. Andy Reid was fired in Philadelphia. He's doing okay in Kansas City. And since he was fired, the Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls. So, Steeler fans, what are you afraid of? Who are we going to get to be our coach? Who cares? You're not winning with this guy. That's the reality. Today's not the day to have that discussion. Let's go to Johnny in Squirrel Hill. Hello, Johnny.
Hey, Paul, it's good to be on with you, man. That's funny you say that. Who are we going to get? I kind of have the same feeling now with Franklin. I don't think Penn State had a plan. Who's going to come in there? I'm not sure we would have a plan if we did get rid of Tomlin. But I think it's a good victory, man. I mean, they were 7-1 coming in, a juggernaut offense. Not a lot of great teams out there. Let's be honest. The quarterback play is pretty mediocre in this league outside of a couple guys, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful that you don't want to face. One of them's next week, unfortunately, for the Steelers. But, yeah, there's
today the Lions lost at home to the Vikings. I think the Lions are a really good team, and they lost at home.
And that's the whole week-to-week thing we've been talking about. You don't know what you're going to get. And I think that the Steelers fed off the emotion of the 20-year anniversary of the Super Bowl. Those guys being in the building, those guys being around for the entire weekend. These guys that are currently here haven't won a damn thing, and that has to really kill Cam and TJ, among others.
They want more money, Paul. I mean, that's the kicker of it all. They want more money. They want more money.
Doesn't everybody?
I think if we would have lost today, man, I think this could have spiraled into a disaster.
It was
schedule.
It was a must. It was a must win in many ways. Now, winning it doesn't guarantee anything going forward, but it certainly staves off the spiral. It staves off the here we go and this isn't working whole narrative. That narrative can go away for a little bit.
To your State College days, Paul, just real quick, who do you think we're going to get up there next? Hardline out of Ohio State? I mean, that's who I want. What do you think, man?
I don't know enough about it, to be honest, and I tell a lot of people, I get that question all the time. I want a guy that I don't know a whole lot about. I want a guy that is an up-and-comer that somehow Pat Kraft knows of, and he's going to put his stamp on it. I also think it might be time for a Penn Stater. I'm a little tired of guys.
That might have been Rule.
He was never the guy. He was never the guy.
I don't think he is either. But I've done a 180 on this. I think it might have been a mistake to get rid of Franklin because we knew where we were, which was pretty good, not elite. I just worry there's no plan up there at all, man. I mean, we're losing.
When you have that, I mean, we're just going to agree to disagree on that because, Franklin was a very selfish guy. And a lot of people weren't willing. I think it was McShane or one of the college football guys came forward and said, listen, this guy bent them over every chance he got to get the most money he could, and he hasn't won a damn thing. And that just irritated me from day one. Not a bad guy, great recruiter, good CEO, not a game day guy at all. And that's one thing that has to be number one on the criterion for me. The guy better be a damn good coach. Right now, the Steelers are dealing with a guy that's all of the above. Great talker, great this, great that. Time management, any kind of challenges and scheme. I mean, they're so pathetically predictable. It's insane. And when it really hits it like 4th and 1 from your 50 and you're punting the ball and you get a net 19, all those kind of things have been adding up for 10 years now. And they've all been the wrong decision. I want a coach. I want a guy that eats and drinks and X and O's out. I want a guy that and I go back and again, we'll digress for a moment here. When you gave Joe Paterno an off week or a month to prepare for a bowl game, what happened? He won the damn game because he was that good of a coach. Mike Tomlin after a bye, Mike Tomlin after 10 days, Mike Tomlin there's no advantage there. Look at the beginning of the game and the beginning of a half. That's usually the other team's best moment, like it was today with Indy. They come out, they go right down the field. You have the entire week to get ready for that first drive, and you're not ready. I want a guy that is ready to coach the damn game when it starts. So I'm not going to get caught up in names with Penn State. I'm not. But I want someone that can flat out coach. And, oh, by the way, better be a pretty decent guy, too. Let's go to Pete in Pittsburgh. Hey, Pete.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
Great. Listen, I was at the game. It just feels like the same old thing. And, I called it. This defense was going to shut Jonathan Taylor down. They did. But that offense, man, what's up with Roman Wilson? What's up with Pat Freiermuth? You pay him all this money. Where is he at? Jonnu Smith can't catch a ball. Darnell can't catch a ball. What are we doing?
Well, I'm not worried about the offense. I'm not. They scored 31 points 2 weeks ago and lost, scored 25 last week and lost. I'm worried about the defense. They can't cover anybody. They hadn't had a turnover in 3 weeks. So they finally get 6 today. So that was impressive. But I don't think you're getting 6 next week in Los Angeles. I'm not sure what they did today is sustainable. That's what I'm concerned about.
Especially with the guys out. The guys out, we got a lot of backups. And, we got some good depth in certain areas that cover the field. But you don't have Deshaun Elliott for the rest of the year. You got your backup safeties out all the way down to a Juan Thornhill covering. What are your thoughts about next week?
I think that Herbert's exactly what the Steelers don't match up well against. Big, strong, athletic. Today he had 250 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 57 yards rushing, and a rushing touchdown. So that's even if you have everybody where they're supposed to be in coverage, and then he just tucks it and goes 10 yards for the first down. That is such a back-breaking moment, and that's the kind of guy that Herbert is. He's a horrible matchup for the Steelers. Horrible. Yeah. He's so good. But
do you think the running back issue on both sides has anything to play with that?
What are the issues?
Well, Omarion Hampton was out, Najee Harris out for the season. Steelers got a Kenneth Gainwell that's honestly been playing lights out. He's been the guy. Jaylen Warren, of course, is that guy. Strength up top, runs through people, but at the same time, we're not getting that yardage that you expect out of a run-heavy offense. And we didn't see it today.
See, the problem is it's not run-heavy. I mean, they ran the ball so effectively last week and came out and ran it 9 times in the second half. That's inexcusable. And that's where, and again, I'm not against Arthur Smith, but sometimes he leaves me scratching my head. I don't know what the hell he's doing sometimes.
Yeah.
And now without Sayamalo today, that hurt. He wasn't able to go. But I thought the offensive line was starting to come together. And, Jaylen Warren, if you feed him, he'll eat because he's so good. He's so good after contact. And you're right about Gainwell. They're very similar. And I think they're a good two-headed monster. I'm not sure what they have in the rookie, but, they gave him a little opportunity today. Certainly not going to give up a guy, this early. But he looked a step slow to me when he did get the ball. That scares me because guys can look really quick in college because there's 1 or 2 NFL guys out there on the field against them, and then they get to the NFL and they're all NFL guys, and all of a sudden you don't look nearly as quick or powerful or anything. So I'm not sure what they have there, but I was encouraged by today, but I'm not convinced of anything.
Yeah. It's a good win. It's a good win for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 7-1 Colts team. You beat them. You beat them where they're strong. Jonathan Taylor didn't have a good day.
No.
You like to see it. Can it carry on to the next week? I mean, all of us can only hope so, right?
Yeah. And again, it was much needed. And Pete, thanks so much for the call. I ran a little bit late here. When we come back, I will have the Mike Tomlin press conference for you. Joel's going to have a headline, pay a couple of bills. This is Fan Reaction right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. As the days get shorter and the air gets crisper, football is back across the area. And we want to encourage the young players out there with our Youth Football Showcase. All season long, we're taking our hosts on the road to fields across the area. And we want to be part of your team. Go to 937thefan.com and sign up your league and let us come out and show our appreciation for all the youth players and coaches. Brought to you by Steel City Shredding, Bowman Electric, Keystone Custom Apparel, Living Treasures, and Saloni's Italian Bread. From Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
8:20 tonight, the Seahawks are at the Washington Commanders for Sunday Night Football on Westwood One, and 93.7 The Fan is your home for the NFL on Westwood One. Kickoff is 8:20. Coverage begins at 7:30. Catch it all on the free Odyssey app as well. Fan headlines are powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville. For more, get to 937thefan.com.
At Citizens, we help make sense of your money and all your money questions.
Should all my money be in checking?
Do I open more than one credit card?
Should I pay down my debt or start an emergency fund?
How can I make a budget and actually stick to it?
How big of a nest should my nest egg be?
Can I mix a little green into all the black and gold?
Whatever money questions you have, Citizens has the answers. Make sense of your money at citizensbank.com/made ready. Member FDIC.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Andrew Filipponi for the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook partner of 93.7 The Fan. NFL Sunday is coming, and this isn't just another NFL Sunday. It's your chance to place the perfect parlay or hit your go-to player prop. And now, FanDuel making it even better because this week, FanDuel's bringing the bonus. That's right. Right now, all customers get a 50% profit boost on any NFL bet. So however you play your game, FanDuel's got your back with something extra in your account, because that's what Sundays should feel like. So for Steelers and Colts, you've got Pittsburgh as a home underdog, and the entire world thinks that Pittsburgh is going to lose this game. I do not. I think they win outright. I also think you'll see Aaron Rodgers go over his prop. I also think DK Metcalf will have a big game. So visit FanDuel.com/Andrew to download the app and get in on the action before kickoff. 21 plus in present Pennsylvania, opt-in required. Bonus issued is now drawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two get two free offer.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan's Fan About Town. The Panthers are back on the field, and Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan is your home for all the action. From pregame to postgame, coverage on The Fan is brought to you by Voss TV and Appliance, Saloni's Italian Bread, Leon's Billiards and more, and the Feeney Insurance Agency. Get up with Nick Callis and The Fan Early Morning Show every Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 5:40, presented by Steel City Medical Center. Put the smile back in your life. Rediscover your strength and confidence at Steel City Medical Center, and get up with Nick and The Fan Early Morning Show every weekday morning at 5. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For more information, visit 937thefan.com. Calling all premium cigar smokers. Don't miss the Verona News Cigar CAO Smoker on Allegheny River Boulevard, Friday, November 7th from 7 to 10 p.m. Enjoy a great evening of cigar smoking, pig roast, the Heineken Beer Wagon. Meet a CAO representee. Save 25% on CAO box cigars. Buy 5, get 2 free. Plus raffles for great prizes. It's the Verona News CAO Cigar Smoker, Friday, November 7th from 7 to 10 p.m. Call 412-828-9119 for details.
5 words no one wants to hear. You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? It's Chris Muller, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call MHI Roofing, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. MHI has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates, for a limited time, MHI is offering 5-year no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. MHI Roofing has got your back. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection to assess the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 412-998-8864 or online at MHIRoof.com.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com. Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
I have to admit, my curiosity has been piqued with the Mike Tomlin fan reaction. Let's hear it.
It was a tough week, but we certainly deserved it based on the last performance. I like the way the guys absorbed it, smiled in the face of it, and prepared and waited for the next opportunity. That's the National Football League, man. You get one shot about every 7 days, and sometimes you got to wear it. We certainly wore it this week. I'm appreciative of their spirit, their efforts, their resolve. Certainly we weren't perfect in any of the 3 phases, but we fought. We did what was necessary. We made plays. And so it's a big-time win for the collective. Can't say enough about the defense's effort to minimize the runner. I don't think you slow that group down unless you minimize the runner. And we were able to do that, and I think that's why we were able to get them in some one-dimensional circumstances, create some pressure, get some sacks, and the turnovers that go along with that. But it started with minimizing their dynamic runner, and he is that. He's dynamic. Thought we started a little slow on offense. We took the ball to keep the ball away from their dynamic offense, but we didn't do much with it there early. But again, it didn't overcome us. We stayed in the fight. The defense provided some short fields. We caught some momentum because of it. That's team football. Isaac Seumalo's got a pack. Wasn't able to finish. We got some other guys with some bumps and bruises. I think Slade dislocated his finger, was able to go back in. Can't say enough about Kyle Duggar. Just gave him a game ball in there. This guy got on the moving train, man, and played a lot of defense for us today, and we needed it. We were really short at the safety position tonight, coupled with D. Elliott's injury. We had some illness and some soft tissue injuries, man. We were running super thin, and that dude came in here, man, and gave us some quality work, and we're certainly appreciative of that. Questions?
How do you explain such a drastic difference? You shut down the run, take the ball away. You hold up. That's a high-scoring team in the league.
It's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes in this business. It's nothing dramatic, It's really not, and that's why we respect it so much. Couple plays here and there that might have been different last week. We don't give up a 59-yard ball to 33-yard ball. We don't let them convert on 4th and 1 in the flat, for example, in the third quarter. That's football at this level. It's a limited number of plays or sequences that can really change the trajectory of an outcome. We're still the same group that stunk it up last week. That's football.
What do you call that 4-3 alignment, and what was the thinking behind using that?
I'm not going to get into detail there, but we're just trying to utilize the people that we had at our disposal. We were limited in a lot of ways in the secondary, and so the people that have been here, we had to find ways for them to contribute, and so it got us out of this week. We'll see what next week holds.
A lot of times when you guys have combated the quick passing game, you've been very proficient at batting the ball down at the line of scrimmage. It seems like you got back to that today. Was that an area of emphasis?
We're always on that. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. It's not like all of a sudden we're in that business this week. We're in that business every week.
Like what kind of momentum or wave did that TJ strip sack provide for you?
It was everything. We were running on the beach offensively. We needed a short field. And like all great players do, man, he provided it when we needed it most.
Coach, I talked to Joe Hayden a couple weeks ago, and he was saying one of the
indicators about you when you kind of tweak things. He said it always shows. And we talked about your Super Bowl victories near Tampa. So this week, did you take any extra care maybe of maybe tweaking some things, as Joe would say?
It is my job to do what's required to provide these guys what it is they need, formally and informally, strategically. It's just a job.
I know last week you somewhat bemoaned having to settle for field goals, but 3 of their turnovers turned into touchdowns. So I'm assuming, now obviously that was big for your offense and defense.
Yeah, it was complimentary football, you know. But that's what happens when you take the ball away from people, man. It feeds itself, and you know that's probably one of the most disappointing things about the stretch that we were on. We weren't taking the ball away. That's the lifeblood for us, not only as a defense but as a football team. It's a catalyst for how we engineer victory.
Didn't completely end the game, but what can you say about Joey making that play on this day with his dad and that 05 team here?
Hey, you know, first I just gotta, acknowledge that 05 team. It was really good to see them. It's really good to perform for them this weekend, man. They are deserving of that. I know a lot of those men and work with a lot of those men, man. They're a special group, and I hope that they had a great time fellowshipping and reminiscing and doing the things that come with these type weekends. But certainly that was a significant play by Joey. We had a lot of significant plays, though we did, and a lot of contributions from a lot of people.
Better about how you guys handled the tight end this week. You know, you spoke about him a lot in your Tuesday press conference. The guys on defense did. What did you like about that?
We just did a nice job of eliminating the intermediate passing game off the play pass. But again, as I mentioned, you don't get a chance to do that unless you're minimizing the run. If they're running the ball successful on you, that intermediate play pass is what comes next. And so we were able to maintain control of the run game, and it minimized some of that intermediate passing game that really features his talents and where they're really trying to get him the ball. I think that was the synopsis of the entire day. Really, anything that we did defensively, it started first and foremost with minimizing Taylor.
Coach, can you talk about Jalen Ramsey, the importance of Jalen Ramsey? He didn't move around a lot today. He pretty much stayed at safety.
I can't say enough about Jalen. Jalen does any and everything that we require for him to do. We needed him to play exclusively free safety today, and he did it at a high level. I'm just glad he's on the team.
You describe the resiliency of this group, particularly your defense.
We're going to keep writing that story. We responded today. See you next week.
How far is the impact of Peyton Wilson in this game, and how far has he come just this season?
You know, it's a reasonable expectation. A second-year player who played a lot last year, made some plays last year. It's a natural progression when you got a good relationship with the game, you work the way that he works, and you have the talent that he has. I don't think anybody is surprised by the impact and the general trajectory of his game.
Coach, and your thoughts on just Jack Sawyer making the splash play as interception?
Man, the sun's always shining on Jack Sawyer. He's a 5-star.
Mike, did you know that Duggar was going to have to be in there as much as he was?
Probably about Thursday, we knew we had an issue. But again, you know, he's a veteran guy, and that's why you go get a veteran-capable guy like that. It's reminiscent of when we acquired Minka Fitzpatrick, to be quite honest with you. He got to us in a similar time during the week. We were out in the Bay Area, man, and he fit right in instantly. His talent showed. He made plays for us. Felt similarly with the contributions we were able to get from Duggar today.
So there you have it. Mike Tomlin after the 27-20 win over Indianapolis. Steelers now at 5-3 on the season, and still with Baltimore at 3-5, Cincinnati at 3-6, Cleveland at 2-6. It's nice to have that lead in the division, but most people still feel as if, and this is hard to fathom, that Baltimore is still going to come all the way back from 1-5 to take the AFC North. 412-928-9370. Love to get your take on that. We're going to hear from Aaron Rodgers when we come back. I'd like to hear from him today after a pretty solid performance by the Steeler offense. And, you know, not many people saw this coming today. And I don't think that there's a guarantee that this is going to carry over. This is going to carry on. I mean, you don't know. And as Mike Thomas said it, they showed up today. We'll see what happens. And Justin Herbert's one of those guys that, I mean, he can just flat out beat you. Good one right now in Buffalo, 28-21. The Bills still holding on to that lead, but, you know, Patrick Mahomes is pretty good. I don't know if you guys, if you follow the NFL, you probably already knew that. But this one is far from over with about, let's see where we at. Yeah, about 9 minutes left in the ball game in Buffalo. And we'll take you right up to Sunday Night Football here on 93.7 The Fan and Westwood One. Remember, you always have your Odyssey app at your disposal. Okay, fan weather. Why don't we get you that real quick? Sunny skies and temps in the 50s on Monday. We'll take that all day long in November. Fan weather is brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. All right, Joel will have an update and more of your calls and more post-game reaction from the locker room right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Pony and Muller here. Mike and Mike's Beer Bar is a big fan of us. In fact, he gave us our own beer. Okay, well, kind of. Each month, Mike picks a local beer that we call the Fan Beer of the Month. Mike's Fan Beer of the Month for November is Jackworth Hard Ginger Beer. And the charity sales will benefit the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
And if you don't like the Fan Beer of the Month, or you just don't like us, Mike has 4 other beers on tap that you can select, and he will make a donation to the charity. Check out the Fan Beer of the Month at Mike's Beer Bar.
Meet me at Mike's.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. You listen to him every day. Now you can watch him too on the Fan Video Stream powered by Bowser. Catch your favorite 93.7 The Fan hosts live on the Fan Video Stream. Just hit up 937thefan.com. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Your hometown building partner since 1956. 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com. HD1 Pittsburgh. An Odyssey Sports Station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios. North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
At Giant Eagle, we're working hard to bring more ways to save to every aisle. Because every dollar and every moment counts. At Giant Eagle, we're going for better, so you can bring home the best. Because it matters.
At Bucko's Roofing, we're on top of it. Whether it's siding, roofing, windows, gutters, or insurance claims, you can count on Bucko's for quality customer service. Find us online and get a free quote today.
It's Pittsburgh's #1 roofing company.
Bucko's Roofing.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC part solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Fan weather is brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. Temperatures in the 50s, handful of days throughout the week, and temperatures in the 60s on others. Chances of rain for Wednesday and Friday. That's fan weather brought to you by Myers Law Group.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted.
A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
All right, Joel Nelson for fan headlines. Steelers today, 27-20 winners over the Indianapolis Colts. Steelers now 5-3 on the year. They'll take on the Los Angeles Chargers next Sunday night at 8:20. Tonight at 8:20, it's the Week 9 Sunday night matchup where the Seahawks are at the Commanders. 93.7 The Fan is your home for the NFL on Westwood One, who will be carrying the game. Catch you right here on the Fan and on the free Odyssey app. Kickoff 8:20. Coverage begins at 7:30. More headlines, 93.7thefan.com. Right now, it's more fan reaction.
Now, more fan reaction. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Welcome back. Paul Alexander with you until 7:30. Then we send it over to Westwood One for Sunday Night Football in America. 28-21. Bills over the Chiefs. I would imagine it's been very entertaining. I can't do this and do that. I'm not that good. I mean, I've seen a couple plays here and there, but I don't really know what the flow of the game has been like. But I do know the Steelers won today, 27-20. It was a pretty solid performance. They turned the Colts over 6 times. And thank goodness Mike Tomlin and I are on the same page in one area. You stop the run, you can be really good defensively. And they turned them over 6 times today. And Taylor was taken out of the game. And that was just the whole difference in the game, along with the turnovers. And the Steelers efficiently get it into the end zone, I would say, pretty well all day. Let's get Aaron Rodgers' take on the win. This was shortly after the game.
Aaron, when you're playing a team like that you know can score points, how important is it to convert those turnovers into touchdowns, which you did 3 straight times?
Did we really? Yeah. Well, we started off pretty slow. I mean, it was pretty ugly on offense for a decent part of the day. Had a lot of chances. But our defense played incredible, after getting blasted for the last week. Really proud of them. Thought the energy was great. Thought there was a good message last night by Jalen, and I think the guys responded well.
Following up on that, Aaron, after the muff punt, I think you scored on every one of the next 4 that you got, the turnovers. What did you like, first of all, about your execution and the play calling as well that came in those situations?
Oh, I love the play calling. I thought the execution was pretty bad. We got to look in the mirror and play better on offense because that's not good enough. Any phase, the run game, catching the football, defense played incredible. And we got to put game like that. We got to put 35, 42 on the board and close the game out. So good tape for coaching staff when you win a game and you got a lot to work on.
Specifically with TJ, when he makes that play, what kind of wave did that give?
I think that was a turning point in the game for sure. 7-0, they were driving. We ended up turning that into 7, I believe.
So that was good. It wasn't a pretty drive. We had a 4th and 1 conversion, but that changed the game 100%. From that point forward, I thought the pass rush was outstanding. I thought we covered well on the back end. Got to give Kyle a lot of credit for coming in here and playing the way he did. But I felt like Alex and TJ and Nick were super active, and their inside guys were good, and it seemed like BQ had a good game, and Peyton had a big pick. So everybody on defense played great. Got to give Five a lot of credit for his leadership the last 24 hours. And, I haven't seen the film, but just the eye test felt like he was in the right place at the right time on defense, and we were opportunistic and really proud of those guys. And we did just enough on offense, but play calling was solid. I love the personnel mixture, the play calling various times in those possession downs, but the execution was pretty bad.
Anyone else?
Aaron, Ben said you guys had a conversation before the game. Not asking what you guys said, but what do you respect about him as a quarterback as they celebrate one of his Super Bowls here?
I was wondering if you're talking about Skronik. I was like, you talk to Ben? What the hell is Ben saying? Big Ben. Yeah. I've known Ben for years and years and years, going back to, the early Tahoe days, and he was picked in the draft before me. So I obviously knew about his game, and we played a long time. Only got to play each other a couple times, but a lot of respect for him and his career, what he accomplished. They won the Super Bowl in his second year. It's pretty impressive. Then the first year they won a bunch of games too. It's kind of the standard, like him and Marino, until I guess maybe I'm missing one or two, but it seemed like him and Marino and maybe Jaden last year. 3 quarterbacks you think about having success in a rookie year. So one of my favorite, as a fan of the game, because I am, Big Ben moments was the drive in the Super Bowl against Arizona, coming down and hitting San Antonio right in the corner of the end zone on a beautiful pass and great toe tap. But I enjoyed watching him play over the years, because he wasn't the fastest guy, but he was hard to take down. He was always swinging that ball around, keeping the plays alive, and it's fun. This is a big Ben team. I'm just happy to be a part of the organization, though.
We talked to Calvin. He gave a lot. He said it's really motivating to know that the way that you can work the ball to whoever throughout any read on any play. What do you see from your guys and their effort to fight through, even when they're not the primary read? It seems like all 5 guys that you have are fighting to get over.
Well, that's how they got to do it. I always tell them, I said, you got to run it like the ball's coming your way every play. And I was proud of Cal, proud of the tight ends. Darnell had basically that one drive where he had a bunch of catches on it. He's been a weapon for us. We got to get that fixed there in the red zone so we can connect on that for a touchdown. But I just love his attitude. When he's on the field, we're a better team. So I think you guys have talked about it. We've talked about it. Everybody's talked about it. When AD's on the field, we're a better offense. So I'm really proud of his effort every single week. I thought the line blocked really well. I kind of walked into 1 sack. Obviously had to take a sack on the last play when Calvin fell down to keep the 40 seconds on the clock. But other than that, I felt like they played really well in the pass game. We didn't run the ball as well as we wanted to, but they got a good front. And we had to kind of dink and dunk them at times.
They had a couple defensive players that they felt like they were bringing a different energy in practice this week going into this game. Did you notice a sense of urgency or more aggression, more energy throughout practice this week?
No, I didn't. But I noticed that something kind of changed last night when Jalen spoke. And it's not easy to speak in front of the team, even when you're a player. It's unnatural. I think coaches are used to it because they do it every single day, and Mike is fantastic at it. But Jalen kind of went on and had the attention of the room, and he said some really, really good stuff. I'm not going to get into it because I feel like that it's kind of need to know information. But it was meaningful to me on the offensive side, and I feel like we had a different energy in the locker room today. Now, all week, I don't pay super tight attention to that side of the ball at all times in practice, but I do feel like in the locker room pregame, there was a different energy for us, and they played really well.
Aaron, just how hard is it for a guy like Kyle to come in on Thursday to practices, play full load of snaps, and what can you say about doing that on such a short notice?
I got to give him a lot of credit as a professional. That's hard to do. I've seen a lot of transactions over the years, and I always feel like if you can put your arms around that guy right away, you got a good chance of him kind of jumping on board. And I felt like in Green Bay we were really good at that. You know, we had some misfits in 2010 that other teams kind of cast off, and we kind of brought them into the fold and did something special. And he's the guy like that too. You know, he went from, you know, making money and being a starter to being out of the rotation. And I saw him in the weight room on Wednesday and chatted him up, and felt like the guys kind of just brought him in and said, "You're our guy." So go out there and just be yourself and have fun. But it is not easy to do that at all. And I give him a lot of credit as a professional, and glad he's with us.
You mentioned a couple of times kind of not riding the roller coaster, but after the adversity you guys have faced the last 2 weeks, how would you describe the resiliency of this team?
Yeah, I mean, we lost a couple where we had legitimate chances to win. But it's a crazy league. I saw the scores, and Carolina beat Green Bay today at Lambeau, I believe. And Chicago had a comeback win after giving up 42 points. Minnesota beat Detroit, I believe, too. Anything can happen. That's what the league wants. There's a great parity to it. You got to deal with adversity. This was a really important win for us, though, to not lose 3 in a row, to not go to 1-3 at home, and to kind of get that big elephant that was starting to try and jump on the backs of the defense, which is made up of media and, you know, outside conversation about them. So we're all human, and I think those guys felt, you know, pretty upset, had a little red ass about what's been going on. So I'm proud of them, the way they came back and responded.
Even after one of Boswell's field goals, it seems as though you had a long conversation with him. Would you be able to share that conversation as far as what you were saying?
On the field or on the sideline?
On the field.
I didn't talk to Mason Crosby a lot over the years before the kick. And so I've been kind of staying away from Boz because he's been so incredible. It's like talking to a pitcher during a no-hitter. But he made a comment last week that I don't say anything to him when I run off the field. I'm just mad that we're kicking. And I said, the only time I'd be happy is going from 2 scores to 3 late in the game. So I think that may have been on the kick where it went to 27-10. And I also told him that, you know, he's been kind of missing me after I go out to dap up the lineman for blocking and stuff, and he kind of just runs off, you know, and doesn't give me any love. So he made a point this game to come over and dap me up. So that's probably what we were talking about.
You credited Darnell earlier for his work, but what have you seen from him that's improved, especially from the route running standpoint, to set up windows for you to target him in?
Yeah, it's really that. It's the attention and practice to kind of taking your time, especially in the group work, like just working on being deliberate but patient and with his route running. He's just such a big body, you know. I just want to throw it up to him. And unfortunately, we had a couple of plays we've been working on for weeks that we called today that went to him that didn't work. So I'm pretty upset about that. But you know, Fredo was like, "Hey, thanks. You know, I'm glad you went back to Darnell." I said, "Of course." I said, "He's a damn good player, and he needs the ball. And when he gets the ball, good things happen. He's got great hands, and he's good after the catch. And he had that one drive was really important, him kind of getting us going."
And when a guy like Jalen stands up and talks as he did, and then he goes out in the game and plays another position for the entire game, I mean, is that just kind of even validated or justified even more, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I think he played with an edge, too. That's the only little peek into the conversation last night was that he wanted us to play with that edge on defense and didn't feel like we were doing that enough. And they played with an edge today for sure. So, you know, I'm really thankful that Jalen's here and that he felt comfortable speaking up, and then the guys responded the right way.
If there's anyone doubting what kind of teammate Aaron Rodgers is, please don't. My goodness. That guy belongs in every locker room. That guy is a leader. And he owns his own stuff, as you can tell. I need to throw it better. I walked into a sack. There's been a lot of guys in similar situations that don't seem to own their own junk. I love this guy. I wish he were 10 years younger. I do. But he's not. And I think offensively they're going to be fine. I think today was good. I really do. Today was good. But I don't know, if that edge is always going to be there. I just don't. But enjoy the week ahead. Enjoy what transpired. Enjoy the fact that, the losing streak is over. You're sitting at 5-3. You have control of your fate. Remember, please never be the person that says you control your own destiny. Here's the difference. Destiny is preordained. You don't control that. You control your fate. So with that 2-game advantage over the Ravens and 2 head-to-head opportunities, you definitely control your own fate. But you don't control your destiny. Your destiny's already been planned, and that's already been preordained. So I don't like when people say that just because it's not correct. It's like when people say, I literally just got up. No, you didn't. You just woke up. I actually just got up. Not that any of this matters, but, when you come to the end of a 3.5-hour show, you've pretty much left it out there. I tend to think that even though it was a relatively, easy victory for the Steelers today, I'd like to think that I came with an edge. I had an edge. I always have a bit of an edge. I know that I saw the game correctly. I said prior to hearing these guys say it, there's no question that T.J. Watt's strip sack and fumble recovery, the complete turning point of the game. No question about that. It's great to know that Jalen Ramsey, brand new Steeler, came in this year, stood up and said, hey, this isn't cutting it. You better get a little more intense. You better play a little harder. And we better be a whole lot better on defense. So it's cool to know that Jalen Ramsey stood up and spoke up last evening and basically called the defense out, from what I'm gathering. And that was necessary. And that team that was honored today, and a lot of that core won 2 Super Bowls. They had so many of those guys that locker room was never an issue. And people don't realize, because he has such a big smile. He's always been so accessible and really just a great human being. But the toughest guy on that 05 Super Bowl team was probably Jerome Bettis. I mean, that man came up in the mean streets of Detroit and never backed down from anyone his whole life. And no one messed with the bus. No one. And I think that now with Aaron as part of the Steelers, they finally have a legitimate leader on the offense. Cam has been a great leader for the defense. I don't think TJ says much, but Cam certainly will speak up. Remember, he said, to Aaron when they were flirting about being a free agent here, well, either he wants to be a Steeler or not. Then Cam had his own little, contract deal, but never question his heart, his effort, his ability. It's all there. So it's a week-to-week league. I wish I had a clue as to how next week was going to go. I know it's going to be a challenge. I'll be with you before the game. I'll certainly share with you Mike Tomlin's record on the West Coast. If you're anxious to see what that is, it might influence you. If you're one like our man Jolie, who likes to maybe make a little prediction with a little monetary effect to it, that might influence you a little bit. It hasn't been good, and I used to make all those trips, and I was always concerned about those trips. They didn't necessarily go very well. It will be this evening, Seattle and Washington. That will close out the season, close out the week, not the season. For heaven's sakes, sometimes you start to lose your mind a little bit. By the way, tomorrow will be Arizona at Dallas. Dallas is fun offensively. I don't think anyone questions that, but I don't know. I was talking to a Cowboy fan on Friday, still lives in Dallas, and I said, it's been 95, right? And he said, it sure has. It's like our Pirates in 79. Yeah, it's been a while. The Cowboys haven't won it all since 1995. That's crazy. America's team? I don't think so. Joel Nelson, great job as always. To all of the callers, I only had an issue with, Al just couldn't contain himself. He was okay. I enjoyed Al's call, but when two people are talking at the same time, it's not good radio. And I even forget the gentleman's name that just, he was loaded for bear, started swearing on the air. Don't need any of that. But thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you guys on Saturday. Enjoy the week ahead. Take care.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Get the latest on Pittsburgh sports from anywhere with the Odyssey app. Listen to shows and Pirate Games live. Check out our exclusive interviews and content anytime. Download the Odyssey app now and never miss a minute. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
Sunday Night Football, Seahawks and Commanders is at 8:20 tonight. Westwood One's coverage right here on 93.7 The Fan begins at 7:30. For more, check out 937thefan.com. Headlines powered by Bowser Genesis of Monroeville.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all.